Samus in a long count. Going to take, going to look, going to throw it on a falling down Antoine Cuts. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up a third down. And, John, this offense is really struggling to get out of its own way right now.
Yeah, he had Cuts was open. It was just a little 5-yarder, but Cuts fell. I think the turf monster.
Good on the turn. Running back, linebackers, receivers. Hey, I need linebackers and running backs on the front line. Give me 11 out there. No lineman should be on the 11. On kick return. Yeah. I don't need no lineman on kick return. Down them up. Across the board. I had all the audio mics up, man, so I don't even know if anybody heard us that first go around. So once again, this is Score 58 Network. It's an early Saturday afternoon kickoff at Lenore Park in Snellville, Georgia. I'm Bo McMichael with my host, Craig, and announcer Chapman. Got the Atlanta Tigers in orange and the Enforcers in blue. So they'll be getting ready to kick off here live from Lenore Park. We're probably about a 30-minute delay, but we made sure we were delayed for the fact that the internet in Snellville is rough. So we wanted to make sure that we stayed on and we didn't buffer too much. So I'm going to hand it over to let Craig call the game. We'll talk a little bit about the keys of the game here in just a minute. You'll hear both our voices. Coach Collins decided to take an early spring break on us, and he won't be with us for the next 2 days of fun in the sun, but hopefully we'll bring him back with us next week. Craig, kickoff?
Here's the kick, and it is a squibber. Picked up at the 30 or 42-yard line, or 38-yard line, my bad. Returned all the way out to around the 45. So it looks like it will be first down and 10 for the Enforcers. And we will be at the 45-yard line.
All right, so keys of the game here on the Score 58 Network. You know, you always like to see that these two teams playing each other. We do have their record running. The Tigers are undefeated within their division. I'll try to bring that up here shortly of what ranking they hold across the board. But what would you say the keys to this particular game for the Enforcers starting out here on offense?
On offense now, they've got to be able to score. We've seen them play a couple of times this year. They have the chance to be explosive on offense, but they are really built around their defense. So if I'm looking at a game plan for the Enforcers, it's to limit the turnovers, make sure you control the football, and give your defense a chance to operate against the Tigers. The Tigers have been known to stall a little bit after early start, so give yourself a chance in the fourth quarter. Inside give on the zone on 1st and 10, he's going to pick up 1. And that's going to bring up second down and 9.
And we jinxed ourselves right then and there thinking that everything was going to be fine with the internet and the coverage. If we get a little spottiness here, hopefully it'll pick back up. Once again, the choppiness is not on your end. It's pretty much on the internet's end across the board of where they're at. So we'll see actually how that plays off. If we need to step away and come back into live play, we will do that just to make sure it's not necessarily too confusing. We gave it a 30-minute delay, and of course,
and now we got it. It's 2nd and 9, and now
good luck with that, man. Second and 9. Yeah, there's no telling exactly what you're looking at this point based on the choppiness, but it looks like the Enforcers were able to come down the field.
If I had to guess, they ran something away from a trip set because they were lining up in trips,
Well, we do apologize for any technical issues. We were very excited that we might be able to get this game to you, but with the delay, there is no telling actually what that's going to happen. It is going to be first down and 10 for the Enforcers. I expect this to be a very interesting game, to say the least, and I'm going to check it on our end to see what is actually what we're seeing and what we're not seeing across the board here on Facebook and on YouTube.
So it looks like it's first and 10.
Make sure you get that ball changed. I think we're on the 40-yard line or the 30-yard line.
29 right around there, and they're going to be a loss.
You got to hit enter to change the ball on.
There it is.
Hey, look at you, man. You're on top of things, man.
I'm trying.
Haikus will be written about you. I like it.
I don't know about all of those actions, but looks like a loss of 3, so it'll bring up second down and 13 from around the 30, well, second and 14 from the 33-yard line. So now that we've got this thing, you know, I'm going to make a comment. It was like a color rush uniform.
Oh, it is definitely. I mean, you almost feel like they planned it.
Yeah,
with the blue and the orange.
Denver versus Seattle.
Well, later on, we'll hopefully get an opportunity to bring in on the Savannah Titans and the Garden City Seahawks. We might even be able to do. That's some good movement right there.
Yes, sir. Nice little scramble right there. Let the defensive end get up the field. Should be close to it's going to bring up third and short, third and about 1.
If we get a chance, we'll be able to show a little bit of instant replay, and if the game is actually recapping us pretty good, because we only have a single game going on today. Once again, I'm Bo McMichael with Score 58 Network. Glad to have everybody with us here on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
Oh, so they gave it third and 3.
Ball's on the 20-yard line here. They spread them out here. Look like we got doubles to the right.
He's just going to see if he can do the same
They're
thing.
going to spread them out and just run it.
That's an adequate plan early in the game, but it's going to kill your quarterback.
They're definitely going to be wore out when it's all said and done if that's their plan of action.
Yes. So we'll bring up first and 10 at the 17-yard line right here. Enforcers deep in Tigers territory. First trip to the red zone today.
Say that 7 times, man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Should be interesting to see what happens. We've seen the Tigers' offense can be explosive in 2 ways. It can be explosive for them
and against them. From a turnover perspective, I agree.
The Enforcers are very solid on defense. So an early score right here for the Enforcers kind of puts the onus back, you know, without saying on the Tigers. Drop.
Is he just going? Yeah. Oh, he's
got a guy.
Oh, it's going to be a jump ball.
And it's a touchdown.
Oh, nice. Great job. Let's see
he dropped it.
They're going to be incomplete.
He dropped it.
We're going to see a replay of that. I was hoping that we were going to say that we scored a touchdown on that part from the Enforcers over the Tigers. But a good defensive play.
Yeah, he stayed with it.
He got his hand in there and made sure it didn't happen. So that's great, all by themselves on that end. Once again, glad everybody kind of tuned in with us here with the Tigers and the Enforcers. Do your best to understand we are playing at Lenore Park. It's in Snellville, Georgia. So the idea that the internet is not kind to us there, we're happy that we're able to give this to you. It's about on a 30-minute delay right now, so we're able to see, and hopefully it won't catch up with. If it does, have patience with us. We'll work on what we do. Right now the score is 0-0, as you can see at the bottom.
Drop. Little flip out here on the
nice
flare
swing.
screen. Nice run.
Oh, goodness.
It's going to bring up third down in about 4.
When he took that thing on the screen right there, you could see he had a little bit of open field, but the closure of the Tigers' defense.
Yes.
But good open field tackle for the Tigers. Tigers are undefeated right now, taking on a 1-3 Enforcers team that took a loss last week. It looks like there is a flag on the play.
Of course, we get the wonderful flag in the position.
They're going to call it ineligible. No. How can you be an eligible man downfield? I'll try to text my camera person to make sure we can get the white cap signal.
Whoa.
I almost saw him touch the top of his head there for a second.
Yeah, either that or he was saying he grabbed somebody. So this is going to bring up
second and forever. Third and forever. So it's a loss of down.
Yeah, so it's going to be third.
And the ball's on the 33.
So that's going to bring up third and about
33, 23?
25.
25, give or take on that part. Well, we're glad everybody can kind of tune in with us, to have a little fun, sit back. We're going to be here for the next 5-6 hours.
There you go.
Yeah, might as well. Hopefully, if technology works for us in our best way.
Snap, drop, going to run.
That is going to be their MO today.
Yeah, it is. He's going to pick up right at 10 yards.
What do you think his height is, Coach? I mean, I'll get his roster out. I got the you call the Tigers. I'll call the Enforcers here.
I'm thinking that he's going to be at a 5'8", 5'9" area.
What number is he? He's a quarterback. What?
I'm looking at number 10.
You think it's
10?
10?
No, it's not. According to this.
No, okay. I mean, granted, they could have changed jerseys. We did have that on.
His number is hair.
Because it is streaming in the background right there.
Because they have number 10, Victor Davidson, listed as quarterback, but I see him.
But they also have a couple of them on
yes.
that part. So where they have 3 and 4 also play quarterback here
so
for the Enforcers. 4th down and forever.
Yes.
He's throwing it deep.
And he's got a
big
man,
number 18.
And he's going to come up just short of the first down.
18 plays fullback. That's Mr. Lawrence. We'll just call him Vic Lawrence for short. Great throw and catch, but it looks like it did not have enough to turn over on downs. And the Tigers will have their first shot of offense here in wonderful March 30th, 2019 at Lenore Park, Snellville, Georgia. I'm Bo McMichael with Craig Chapman, bringing you IAFL action and a sunny day, to say the least. We've got the Atlanta Tigers, who are undefeated, taking on the Enforcers. We've got some great matchups today, in the IAFL rankings. The Tigers are sitting at number 4, where the Enforcers are in the middle of the pack at 21. A reminder, there's 41 teams here in the IAFL. That's a lot of teams to deal with. The commissioner, I want to give him a hug every time I see him.
Wow, got first and 10, and we got a guy streaking open.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And he is going to be down at the 41-yard line.
Great throw and catch for the Tigers. That's a way to kind of get them out of the back of their end zone and said, hey, let's start it off. And let's go. And you almost, the thing that I think the Enforcers hold themselves to is their defense.
Well, when you're going to play man and try to have a single safety over the top, you got to get something on the slot guy.
The defensive coordinator for the Enforcers is Coach Green. Looks like going to be an offsides on the Enforcers' 5-yard penalty.
So that'll bring up first and 5. I'm okay in math sometimes.
Yeah, you're doing a good job, man. You hold it with what you got.
There it is. The thing I like about the Tigers is that they're very, they're very well organized, and they stick with what they do on offense. They're going to throw the hitch to the outside right here, and it's going to be dropped.
All right, it's going to be a 2nd down and 5 here. Tigers had an opportunity to begin with to go down there, and or the Enforcers had an opportunity to do a score. It just was not successful.
Penalties. Seems like we say that every week in this league. Second down and 5 right here. Doubles look. Straight drop. Morgan slides in the pocket. It's going deep. He's got a man there. Overthrows everybody. That'll bring up 3rd and 5 from the 36.
Beautiful day here. First quarter action at Lenore Park. I'm Bo McMichael with Score Sports, bringing you Score 58 Network game of 1 out of 2. We got a doubleheader planned for you. Got the Chattanooga Eagles taking on the Metro Atlanta Horsemen. Hopefully technology will work for us there as well. Seems that things are doing okay right now here at Lenore Park. We're at least live as best we can be. 3rd down and 5.
Tigers look to be changing the play from the sideline over here. Gun. Doubles. Straight drop back. Speed out. Man, he had him wide open, just overthrew him. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 5. So after the opening play, the explosion play, we've had a drop pass, an overthrown deep route, and then just a miss in the flat right there.
Always, if you can't hear us correctly, give us a little shout out on Facebook. We're paying attention the best we can. But if you need us to turn up the volume or do anything we can, we'll throw your way. 4th down and 5. Big moment here early in the first quarter.
Ooh, safety blitz.
And pulled back real quick.
Morgan scrambles. Going to try to pick it up
Yep,
himself.
he'll pick
Gonna
it up.
pick it up himself. Slides down at the 29-yard line. Should be a first down and a gain of 7.
Good hustle for the quarterback, number 1 for the Tigers. First down and 10. You're doing a great job there, Coach Chapman, holding in there the best you can. Look in the scoreboard. I'm not going to hold it against you, man. They'll get across first and 10. We've got a big arena game this next week. There is a flag on the play. Possibly looks like it's going to be. Let's see what Whitecap has to say. Block. How can we block? How can that be against the enforcers? I felt like he was pointing towards the enforcers.
I have no idea what they're doing. The flag was there for merely decoration there because they sure didn't mark from the spot.
No, not at this point. Once again, sometimes the trials and tribulations of things that we find that, when we're not actually there to see, they are going to mark it off, and it's going to be a block. A chop block is what he was signaling. The Whitecap was.
So they blocked below the waist, down the field. And so this is going to be.
It'll be fourth down from this point, right?
Should be.
From the spot. I mean, but anything's possible. Hence, if you're Kevin Garnett and you just win the championship. Anytime I hear anybody say anything's possible. They're keeping the sticks as they are. It's going to be fourth down and 15.
All right.
You'll have fun switching that up. We got ladies basketball. The Braves are about to kick off, pitch off here. Is it pitch off? What do we call that?
First pitch.
There we go. First pitch at 4 o'clock for the Braves. So we'll keep you posted about that as we go.
Tigers go to empty right here. They're going to run 5 verticals and stop a guy at the sideline.
All right. Change over on downs.
So
both teams were able to stop each other kind of cold on their drive. Now, if you were to give the both teams, who do you think had the advantage right there? I'd go with the enforcers. I felt like they put more together from a drive perspective than the Tigers.
Well, the enforcers moved the ball because their quarterback can scramble.
Yes.
The Tigers hit you deep one play, had a guy running wide open in the end zone.
Couldn't connect.
And then they've had guys wide open all over the field. I think if Morgan gets it down right here, settles down a little bit, and starts connecting on these passes, he's got guys wide open.
I'd agree. I definitely agree with you on that situation. Once again, this is Score 58 Network. I'm Bo McMichael with Craig Chapman, bringing you IAFL action live from Lenore Park in the sunny Snellville, Georgia, right on the east coast of Atlanta. For those people that not know where that's at. For those people that are enjoying some spring break, Adam Collins, hopefully you're tuning in a little bit and give us an idea. First and 10 for the Enforcers.
Enforcers going to play smash mouth right here. They've got 40 people in the backfield.
Rumbling, stumbling, trying to do that. I mean, that's like when you get the orange versus the blue wave, number 18, that's the fullback for the Enforcers, Mr. Lawrence. I call him just Mr. Lawrence. I love the numbers, man. You can see the numbers a mile away.
Got to bring up second down and 8. And we're always appreciative of numbers that you can see.
Because we changed it back from first and 10 before, man. I mean, it's good. You're good now, man. So you're just going to be multitasking a little bit, man. You're earning your quarters today. I appreciate that.
Man. I'm
Second
trying.
8 ball on the 38, give or take the 35-yard line. Nope, 39-yard line. You're right about that. For the Enforcers. What kind of backfield is that called, Coach?
That is a power eye backfield, and they tried to hand it to the fullback. And that's not going to work.
Well, look, I mean, this is the replay right here. I mean, a fast, live replay. I mean, number 52 just gets in there, and nobody
Number 92
blocks him.
Blew the block and then raised his hand to the sideline and said, that was me.
Yeah. No, don't do that.
No, please don't.
Man, when I used to attempt to block and I knew I missed my guy, I'd put my hands up in the air and I could hear the coach from the sideline, you ain't going to raise your hand. We know you missed the block. And I'm like, my bad. I keep my hands down. My bad. So
I worked with a guy. I never worked for him, but I worked with him, and his favorite thing to say was, "My bad equals my bench," and it was always about this. So now we're going to go power eye on third down and 15 and run a toss
to number 23,
and it is going to be a short gain of about 3 yards. So they will punt.
That's Markel Stiles for the Enforcers, number 23 with that run.
On 4th and 12. And that was the last thing you wanted to do. We talked about the Enforcers offense. Your best play is the quarterback scramble so far.
Right. No, I agree with you on that part. And then if you're not able to connect with it, it makes it a little bit more difficult. I
Now,
agree.
if your plan was to run the football there and save the quarterback, I can agree with that. You're not down in the game. The clock is steadily moving now, and you got the punt right here.
And from a special team perspective, it's a good punt.
It's a
good
great
bounce.
It's a great punt, and you're not. And somebody just got.
He
somebody got bounced themselves.
He did. He got a little bit flipped upside down. I don't think he was living in Bel Air though, so it's a little rough right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to see the second venture of the Tigers here. IFL action down at Lenore Park, Snellville, Georgia. As you can see the matchups coming across the bottom of your screen. It's as much information as I can get you is what's available on the IFL Facebook website. So we give that information as much as we can. Glad everybody's sitting back and enjoying a wonderful Friday or Saturday afternoon here the last weekend in March. Where did it go, Coach Chapman? It's April.
I'm all in favor of it, man.
No, I know you are, man. I needed to slow down a little bit. 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
Inside give and wide open.
He's going to bump his head on the goalpost.
He's going to pick up about 8 right there on 1st down, bring up 2nd down and 2.
In this little replay right here, you could see once he hit the great blocking from the offensive lineman, 52 just needed to get around the corner. And, it's a good 8-yard run for the Tigers.
To the 33-yard line and bring up 2nd and 2. Now you might want to take your shot. Going to stick out there on the curl route.
Yep, all the way down to about the 42-yard line.
That's going to pick up 1st down and 10.
Now, why did you say that, Coach? You said this is their time to take the shot. Is it just felt like that they kind of had them on the ropes for a second?
You just ran the ball for 8 on 1st down. You're figuring that
they're on their heels.
Yeah, well, that and the fact that you've got a free snap. You figure you're going to pick up 2 on 3rd and 2. So.
Right. So see what actually happens.
And then you hit a guy big on the opening play for right at 50 yards.
So realistically, we could say that they're just hurting themselves right now from the Tigers' perspective. The enforcers are not doing anything.
No, they haven't covered a soul yet. They're
right.
playing real loose. They're very timid in their secondary, and this is illegal because you got 2 guys on the ball up there.
Deep pass. Oh,
nice coverage right there by number 21.
Number 3 for the Tigers was going for the ball. 21 was who, Coach?
Marquez Kelly.
All right, Mr. Kelly, good job defending that. Let's see if there was a flag on the play. Yep, you called it, Coach. There we go, Craig. That's why you get paid the little bucks on that part, man.
I guess used to watching things. If they're wrong, I normally see it pretty fast because I'm going to be the one getting chewed out about it.
Right, especially from an illegal formation perspective.
Yep.
Well, we're glad everybody's joining in with us here today. We're live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. If you can't find us, kind of look around. We'll pop back up. Hopefully, technology-wise, we'll be okay. Here we're still in the first quarter, 0-0 here at Lenore Park. First of 2 games that we'll be bringing to you live. Metro Atlanta Horsemen versus the Chattanooga Eagles kick off around 6 o'clock. My guess is we'll be able to show that game around 6:30 based on the internet quality from that location.
All right, they got it ironed out this time. The formation's correct. Drop for Morgan. Going to stick the curl or a little
pretty pass.
Little deep corner out right there. Kind of a smash concept on the 2-receiver side over here. Gets it over the linebacker right there.
And he did everything he could to reach out to grab it.
That might have been over the corner, sitting short on that.
Yeah, 16. I don't know if it's either corner or the linebacker on that. Let's see if we can see.
It should be a 1st down and 10 right there.
I don't have it. Yeah, 16 right now. I have it listed as open. So we'll call him Mr. Open.
Well, that guy behind him was open.
Yes, he was. But a good pass from the Tigers to get that right in the mix.
So it should be 1st and 10, and
it's going to be into the quarter?
Either that or it's a timeout.
Well, let's see.
I don't see sticks moving.
No, I don't. And I don't see the ball raising in the air, so we're going to see look like we're going to get a timeout possibly from the enforcers.
I would think that would be – I would call timeout if I were them, especially if I'm coaching their defense, because I'm looking right now.
Oh, we're getting a little scoreboard action here. It is the end of the quarter.
Okay.
But it's hard to tell if that's the case. Once again, we are at a location site, so to be able to bring this game to you in a more up-to-beat manner. So sometimes I'm not going to say it's second quarter. I don't think they could figure out how to get the clock working.
I don't think they
based
did.
on what we saw because I would say that that's not the case right now. So, once again, glad to have everybody kind of sit back and enjoy. If you always have something to kind of give us insight, feel free to pop it out on Facebook. I'll eventually bring the Twitter feed up, that if you are watching us on Twitter, feel free to kind of mention, give us a little shout out. But remember to subscribe to our channel here at Score Sports. It's always nice to have that, so you can kind of get inside news of what's going on and where we're at.
So you're going to have 1st and 10 right here at the 30. Should be interesting to see right now if the enforcers are going to go to a more man coverage look. They've been very loose in the secondary. They've given a lot of respect to the Tigers receivers, and they should, because the Tigers receivers are very athletic. Here we go out of the doubles. Inside give, and he's going to pick up right at 4 yards.
Be about a 2nd down and 6 here in the first quarter of play. Not much left in the first quarter, as our wonderful camera person was able to tell us the scoreboard's not working, so they're giving it to us live here on the ground. So we're doing the best we can. So if we get an update on the thing, you'll know it probably at the same time we know it.
I'm telling you right now, with the way the enforcers are playing defense right here, I keep running the football.
Right at them?
The middle of the field is wide open.
Like a possible scramble. Got to hold on to that ball.
He's going to end up close to a 1st down right here, depending on where they mark it. It could be 3rd and 1 or 1st and 10.
It's going to be on the 20-yard line right now.
They're going to mark him down at the 21. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 1 right here. He picked up 5 right there. Now, if you had a great deal of faith in your offensive line, this is where you'd also throw the ball to the end zone. Looks like they're in empty backfield right here. Snap, Morgan drops, going to the end zone right here, and he threw it to the next county.
He did.
So to bring up 4th and 1. Now you're going to get to see that inside zone. I wouldn't even change the personnel. I'd keep it in the 4 wide receivers, make sure I hand it off inside. I'd probably run
Well, you want to get the 1st down, bottom line. I mean, you know, you've done a good job containing the ball here in the first quarter.
Oh, yeah. And I think right here would be a good chance for, well, they're going to go empty. So this, to me, if I'm playing defense, screams quarterback run.
And I tell you one thing, they did a good job.
I'm not so sure he got it.
No, he did.
He had to get to the 20. Where are they going to mark this at? Because if he moves it off the 20, it's 1st down for the enforcers.
And he's not moving it off the 20.
He is not. He just rolled it, and they're going to mark it up.
That's where you get a little nerve-wracking for everybody involved, especially because we've seen several games in the past where things have went sideways very quickly
yes,
on the marking. I mean, it was the Tigers and the Ducks, if I'm not mistaken, of that whole where they marched it off just to march it off.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey,
they were at Lenora Park.
They
so
were no.
Anderson.
We were at Anderson. Oh, the home of the 5th down.
We're the 5th down right here.
Yeah. I grasp what you're saying there, but I do. So hopefully we'll be able to give you some type of recap here. I'll tell you what's going on here since the in the first quarter of play. I mean, it's 0-0. It's a good game going on right now here. 4th and 1. We're still trying. They're going to look like they're going to do a measurement.
Well, if the ball has got any part of it touching that line, it should be a 1st down.
And I can't necessarily see because of the angle. But, overall perspective of the game so far, I'm very impressed by both attitudes.
Yeah.
From the organizations of the Tigers and the Enforcers, to me it's one of the both the premier organizations of the league. That's a 1st down. That was an easy call. It looks like it. Yep. All right. 1st and 10, ball on the 20.
Don't know what we were waiting on, but
I know.
We got it. And I waited to do that so I could flip that.
I know. And we've had an opportunity over the years to call games at Lenore Park. This is the first one we've been able to call where we're sitting in the comforts of our own environment.
I can tell you one thing. There's a brick wall on one sideline over there that is a detriment to a corner route.
Yes. The Atlanta Venom experienced that last year. Tenfold kind of held the game enough to call the ambulance. We heard gunshots one time.
Oh,
we've had it all coming out of Lenore Park.
Lenore Park is definitely one of those places, if you ever write a book, you have to include a chapter with Lenore Park.
Yes, it's just one of those very interesting environment. We've watched games get called in the second quarter where the refs have had enough, and they just leave and said, nope, we're not playing this game anymore. We're done dealing with this from an overall perspective. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. This is 0-0. You know, the Tigers are sitting at 4-0. I'll get a roster here in just a minute so I can get the exact record, but I think they are 4-0.
Well, Austin Mick right here, number 6, sitting in the backfield for the Tigers. Right now, he's been their most explosive player. He needs to touch football right here. So, we're sitting here waiting
There we are.
Something.
I appreciate you not using the word. The first thing that was coming to mind is some type of spiritual person. It's like we're waiting on somebody here. I just don't know what it is.
We're waiting on somebody to hand down a ruling.
Yes, let's get these things going.
Please move the chains and let's play the game.
I hear you. Once again, this is Score 58 Network, and they are finally moving.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, we saw the chains come into the picture to be able to give that to you. So the nice thing is you know, I'm glad that we actually just have one game we're dealing with today compared to the normal 3 games on a Saturday night. So the Ducks are playing the Hilton Head Sharks, so we wouldn't be covering them tonight.
Yep. Mr. Mick gets the ball with a cut, and there he goes.
Bang his head on the goalpost. Give him
Got
6.
a chance. Going to be down around the 4-3-yard line. Where did he mark him at the 5?
He nearly took out the camera guy, to be honest with you.
Man,
Goodness
don't do
gracious.
that. Can't be taking out the camera,
No,
man.
that one was the photography, man. There was a brick wall he got slung into there. 1st and 10, ball really on the 5-yard line at this point. 4. We'll call it the 4. 1st and goal for the Tigers.
From the 4. Inside give.
Okay.
And power bombed at the 1-yard line.
I'd like number 25 for the Enforcers is who?
25 for the Enforcers is the guy I was looking at in the warm-ups going, wow, that guy's gigantic.
Yes,
That's
he is.
Mark Granville Jr.
And he picked up number 27 for the Tigers and made sure that – I mean, he let him down softly.
Yeah.
You know,
Keontae Watkins is going to send him a Christmas card because,
that's nice.
you know, he didn't just –
This far in advance is always a good thing. Oh, goodness, they're going to call – nope. Yep. Yeah, number 90 going to get called for a helmet-to-helmet penalty right there.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'll even roll it back here so we can see when they're marking it off. Let's see.
That was me looking down at the scoreboard and missing a hit that's going to create a problem.
Yeah, what you're going to see here, this is the play right here. You know, and somebody would say that maybe it wasn't. We'll kick it back just a little bit. Nah. But definitely helmet to helmet. 26 did a good job of doing the best he could in the situation at hand right here, so that's good on his part. He's able to get up and get himself off the field, which is good. Now they're just trying to figure out how to call that particular play. Or what are you going to call from a penalty perspective?
I'm curious as if they're considering the fact that it's inside the box.
Well, he left his feet. I don't, you know, one of these days I'm going to get into a drawing board. We're going to be able to pause it, and I'm going to get a little bit better with it. Right now, it's kind of.
There it is.
They're going to say.
Wait a minute. They're marking it off against the Tigers.
I'm confused.
Did they call that on the running back?
It was a helmet-to-helmet hit on the running back. That running back did the hit. Yes, that's what we're going to call.
So that's going to bring up 2nd down and
Ball's on the 20.
Wow.
Yeah, ball's on the 20. Ball's on the 20. It's going to be, realistically, it's 2nd down and goal. I think you can actually make it where it says 2nd down and goal on the thing. There was some big moss out there for us. I'm seeing a couple of those bugs fly by her. So hopefully she's hanging in there the best she can. We got Miss Colbert on the camera today out of Lenore Park. There we go, 2nd and goal. Look at you finding those things, man. Growing right in front of us, man.
Just have to be taught, you know.
Yeah.
Got a good teacher. So
is that one of those? Hey, there's a button over there.
Yeah,
man. Press
yeah.
that button on that part. And we'll see what happens.
So I would expect to see this one go into the end zone right here. Slot to the left-hand side, touchdown.
Wide open. Yep.
And we're going to ride the
motorcycle.
bike.
It's 6 points here for the Tigers. Great job for the Tigers to score first against the Enforcers here at Lenore Park. The Atlanta Tigers get on board first against the Atlanta Enforcers.
All right, now let's see if they overthink the 2-point conversion play right here.
Shame on you for even thinking that one would overthink anything.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that, hey, here we go. We're going to have 30 people in the backfield, and we haven't had that all year.
No, now they just, but they've been working on that.
They brought the tight end in. This is going to be some kind of counter. And it's bad when the quarterback doesn't know what's going on. Here we go. Shifting.
Okay.
A little polecat.
Where did we see that last week?
That was the game with the steal.
Okay. And, of course, everything wants to kind of
No,
catch up and slow.
We're going to call
Illegal
delay of game.
Delay of game, okay.
So we're going to move that to the 8-yard line.
Now, once again, we do apologize for the technical issues that we'll experience here in a little bit. It's just a matter of where we're at. And sometimes the internet's slowing down a little bit. We'll see if it gets picked back up, and it does. Everybody have patience with us. I won't start screaming and running out of the room just yet on that part. So
just don't leave me by myself.
No, you're definitely be by yourself here in a minute. I got one of my film crew coming to get ready for the Eagles Horseman game, so I'm gonna have to go through him and make sure we're on the same page. They're gonna do it again.
We're gonna go polecat again. Something about this just screams we're gonna run the other way.
Single man out there.
Threw it to the other world again.
Trying to pop it in right there. Good defensive markup for the Enforcers. Number 24, 21, and 25 was able to do their job. It's just 6-0 here early in the first half of the game. We're getting close to the end of the quarter just because I feel like we've played a while. So I definitely feel like we're getting close. I feel like we haven't switched just yet sides-wise. So hopefully that'll get started here. Once again,
whatever they're doing, not to interrupt you.
No, you're not.
Whatever the Enforcers are doing coverage-wise, they're relying on their safeties to stay back and try to keep everything in front of them because you saw the guy hit the dude at the goal line right there. But they're not carrying anybody from the slot. If they're going to do that all game, all the Tigers have to do is throw seam routes all game because nobody's there to stop it. There's no linebacker underneath anything. So should be interesting to see. We got a squib kick the first time. And we talk about a lot, the scariest play in football is the kickoff.
How long do you think it's going to stay into play there, Coach?
That?
I mean, the kickoff. Do you think that this is going to be something that's going to exist much longer?
No, I don't, because people are so, concerned about safety. And when I was growing up, I watched football games and waited for the knee injury on a kickoff.
Okay.
Because it seemed like somebody that was blocking doing that got hurt on a kickoff or a punt. Now they've kind of, you can't really return a punt in the NFL anymore because
it's very difficult. I'd like to see how many punts returned this past year
because the hang time is so good.
Right.
So what you might run into is a thing where they move the kickoff back to the 40-yard line and have somebody punt it, or they just do what they do in the AAF and you get the ball at the 25 and you start. So here's the kick. Wow, they hammered it this time.
They did all the way down to about the 8-yard line.
And he dropped it. And it's going to be picked up at the 15. This is a problem. Cut. If he gets over here to this sideline, he's got a chance.
All the way to the 35-yard line.
See where they're going to mark him at the 34 right here. So that was close. So we'll have 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
About a 20-yard, 15-yard return, 20-yard return. It's got it on about
25-yard line. About 25 yards, about 9 yards.
So if you're in the Enforcers, your second series was not good.
It was terrible. That's just putting it. You saying it wasn't good is nice.
It wasn't good. So, I mean, right now you've got to have some type of response back here, 6-0 here early in the half to see what they can do. It's what's the most interesting thing is this is a warm day.
Oh yeah, it's. I was telling my wife on the way over here that I feel sorry for these guys because This is really the first time they're going to play in the sun when it's hot.
It is. I mean, and granted, they'll end the season in baking heat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, they'll be at Chattanooga seeing a flame shoot off the turf based on that. But, I mean, in this situation alone, this is, I mean, 75, 77 degrees, and tomorrow's going to be in the 50s.
So now we're back in the spread. Inside. Oh, no, the quarterback's going to keep this thing. If they get one block right here, they got a shot.
They did and got it to the 50.
Wow, that's going to pick up 16 and another first down.
Look at him hit that corner right there.
Yes.
Good blocking.
I mean, and then he attacks right there. That's, he finished the run the way you want to see somebody finish a run.
That was good effort across the board right there.
I think the running back's thinking, why didn't you give me the ball? I could have been doing that. But you were right. Answering this right here was the biggest thing they can do. They have to give themselves a chance to feel like they can score. After that first drive, probably felt pretty good, but they haven't really had the ball much since then. It's been
right.
So
sorry once again for the delay and the pause. We'll hopefully get things kicked back in with us. It is one of those ones that it gets a little choppy here based on where the internet is in Snellville, Georgia. So we'll keep going through the game and understand that it'll pick back up here shortly.
So we got a gain of 3 right there. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 47.
I think I figured out how to fix it every time it does that. So we got a injured player for the Enforcers. And while we do that, I'm going to talk a little bit about, if I get an opportunity, each in the league, they have the Rico versus Jaws. People are able to pick what the scores are going to be from this particular game. So it's been very interesting. They gave -6. Let me make sure I get this. They gave the Tigers -21, thinking that they're going to win by 21.
I got you.
And that goes with Jaws. And the commissioner of the league only gave it within 6. So that was somewhat kind of nice in the sense of doing that. Once again, the technical piece right here, we'll get it resolved here. It's just a delay because of the internet speed. Sometimes it'll pick up, be a little staticky. We do apologize for that, but it's just nothing we can do about it. Based out of Lenore. The nice thing is we're getting the signal, so we're able to delay it a little bit. If we were there, you wouldn't get anything. It would be just horrible to watch. But overall wise, when we were sitting there talking about the standings coming out of for these two teams, I'm going to scroll up and be able to look at this and give this to you real quick. They have very interesting names for the divisions. And in this particular division between the Atlanta Tigers and the Atlanta Enforcers, Tigers are 4-0. They're in the dark side division.
Dark side, okay.
Okay, and the Enforcers are 1-3, and the Ducks sit at 3-2, playing a crucial game this week against the Hilton Head Sharks to go 4-2 at this point. I mean, it makes that a very interesting game between the Ducks and the Tigers. Hopefully the Ducks have done what they could to get, they're going to have to win out in many ways to get themselves in potential to possibly make the playoffs. If not, it's going to be very hard. I'd love to look at how they're going to do the playoff standings and how many wild cards. I'm going to look more detail with that to begin with. But then you get the Horsemen in the Doomsday Division at 4-0, and the Chattanooga Eagles that are in the Mountain Division that are 4-0. They're going to be playing off here around 6 o'clock.
Well, we got the snap. We got the inside give. Same play they started it with. This time the quarterback gives it. And we're going to work up to the 44-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
And once again, I'll remind you, if there is a choppiness to it, there's not necessarily much we can do. We've kind of gave a good delay. At this point, we gave a 30-minute delay before we decided to start the game. But that seems to still be give or take. It comes and goes. So I appreciate your patience with the technology. 6-0 here. The Tigers and the Enforcers. The Enforcers are responding real well.
Well, this is going to be a 2-down territory. They're not going to punt from right here. I wouldn't think. They're going to try to, for the most part, they're going to give themselves a chance. Here goes quarterback number 4 is going to scramble. He's going to be about
a yard, 2 yards short.
Looks like they're going to mark him 2 yards short. So we're going to get 4th and 2 right here. And we're going to be at the 42-yard line. And they're right back up on the ball. Looks like he's going to run quarterback sneak right here. and we're going to get timeout.
Possibly into the quarter.
So let's see what we got.
They're going to hold the ball up. I know it the moment they grab it, checking the charts.
Huh. I think we're on the 18-minute quarter.
They are. It does definitely. When you looked at I knew the clock wasn't running right when she panned over to it, and it was sitting there. I'm like, yeah, there's no way it's sitting there. And to say that they don't flop, meaning back and forth, it's hard to tell. It's hard to believe that we've been going on for quite a while now, and it hasn't been the end of the first quarter.
And I didn't see anybody signal timeout right there.
No, and are they not going to flip? Which
that's one of those things that you'll never know because, nobody knows what a referee is actually thinking.
Right.
And it may just have been easier for them
to continue to go instead of flipping it, especially with the chains and so forth.
Because you never know who you have running the chains. You may have,
do
kids.
me a favor, change it to the second quarter.
Okay.
Because, if we're wrong, we're wrong. But I feel like we're in the second quarter.
Now I got to find the quarter.
It's at the top right, but we're not going to hold that against you. Nothing right there. Did he fumble the ball? Yes, he fumbled at 18.
And they still didn't get anything, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
Yeah. I think he either let the ball go out once he realized he got hit and was hoping for the best.
Hoping somebody would fall on that bad boy.
Yep.
So we're going to be 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line for the Tigers with a 6-0 lead.
Here somewhere in the first half.
Yes, we will
call
say
it the first half of the game.
First half.
First half of the game. That's an easy way to do that. I'm glad everybody can join in with us. We've got a lot of different people joining in with us right now, so that's always nice.
Drop from Morgan, and there was a flag on the play. And just to show my boss that I know where it's at, I put the flag thing up there.
No, don't do that because it covers up the Score Sports. Don't get crazy on me, man. I thought about doing it, then I like having the Score Sports logo on it, and if not, we can't – mark it away. Now, don't you get mixed up trying to watch this game. They're only up 1-0 here. You didn't even see them hit a home run, man.
No, I didn't see NCRT triple.
You didn't?
I did.
Okay, that's pretty good. All right. Big man coming in trying to stop him, throwing it deep. Let's see if he's able to connect.
He's got a guy there.
Oh, he does.
And it is caught.
All the way down to about the 8-yard line.
And we have a towel on the play.
Yeah, definitely not a flag.
Wow. That is we're going to be 1st and goal right here. And we're going to be at the 8-yard line. And just what the enforcers couldn't let happen has happened. They're about to fall down by 2 scores right here. The passing game of the Tigers has completely and totally baffled the enforcers' defense. And, the Tigers have really, really good receivers. They stay in the spread. They got 1st and goal from the 8 right here. They're in an empty set. They snap it quick. He's got a guy open in the end zone, touchdown. And there we go. 12-0 Tigers. That was just too easy. Way too easy. And we'll start to see if we have a kind of a reality set in right here for the enforcers that they're going to have to do something different on defense because sitting back in a soft zone is not working right here. The Tigers have all day to throw the ball. And wide receivers are wide open down the field. And now we've gone to a 2-back tight end look. And we're going to shift to the polecat again. We'll see what happens right here. Last time they threw the fade to the right. This is going to be fade to the right again. Incomplete again. So somewhere in the first half where we're at, it is now 12-0 Tigers. And we will be getting ready to kick this thing off. And now, as we said last time, it is a must for the enforcers to answer. Got to score. Got to get something on the board right here. Once again, we apologize for the choppiness of the broadcast. Internet is playing havoc with us at beautiful Lenora Park.
And the nice thing is that it does come and go.
Yeah, it does.
So, I mean, if we were watching this the whole game, I would have given up and just called it a day and watched a little baseball and see what happens, you know. And it's really up in the air with the Chattanoogas and Metro Horsemen. We don't know necessarily if that's going to be something that's going to come through or not. So if it does, great. You know, we can only do what the internet allows. Some of these parks are in some really rough places in the sense of internet-wise, and they're
technology.
It's in the hole. I haven't bought the truck with the satellite dish yet.
I'm waiting on that.
It's the word yet. I always try to figure out how I want to go and do it. Every time I bring it up to my pops, he just hangs up the phone on me. So
deep kick again, fielded it around the 10, bringing it to the left-hand side. Nice little move inside. Going to be wrapped up at about the 27-yard line, so that'll be 1st and 10 at the 27 right here for the Enforcers. As we move, as I said earlier, somewhere in the first half, because we're not really certain. So the score is 12-0 Tigers. The Enforcers are going to come out. Need to get something going right here on offense.
And they did not flip.
They did not flip.
It is second quarter.
It is the second quarter.
I did confirm that with my my filmer.
All right.
So we're definitely aware of that. I was able to reach in and kind of figure that out. So maybe one of the timeouts was the change of the quarter. And we're just not necessarily aware of it.
Well, they haven't, you know, we saw a timeout. We never saw who they signaled the timeout for, so maybe that was the one where we
right, that it could have been the flip of the down right there. So looks like the ball's not going to be on the 27. Looks like there's possibly a penalty. Ball looks like it's on the 20 right now. Possibly a flag, not necessarily able to see that and give that information to you.
Well, so we are going to start on the 20. Perhaps they stepped out of bounds. Well, or perhaps the White Hat.
Yeah, the Atlanta Tigers are in orange. The Enforcers are in a blue. That's the Atlanta Enforcers.
Right now the sun is not the only thing shining on the Enforcers. The Tigers are as well.
Yes. Timeout.
Hey,
look at you, Jinx right there. Finally, we saw the Tigers, so you can take that off the board, man. That's good. Good job. All right. So a little update in the world right now. The Braves are up 1-0 over the Phillies. We got the NCAA kicking off, man. Finishing up the Elite Eight matchups.
You know, it's been a crazy tournament. I read somewhere on Twitter last night where people were, I think it was a NFL analyst. I won't say the name on air.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
But he was being very, dismissive of the tournament, talking about how bad the games have been.
Like not close?
He didn't, because it's been mainly chalk.
And I'm appreciative of the point that give me some good games when it is chalk, though.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is that they had games that have been good games, and it doesn't matter if the 12's beating the 5, which we had in the first round.
Oh, yeah, all over the place.
And so it doesn't matter if that happens all throughout the tournament. You're really looking for the upsets on weekend 1. And then after the upsets on weekend 1, you're looking for what you got last night.
Right.
With Virginia Tech having a shot at the end to tie it.
Oh, and let alone, let's say, Auburn and North Carolina, where you would have, if you'd have said at the beginning of the tournament, Auburn was going to go on this run like they did during the SEC. I mean, it's great. Here we go. 1st and 10 coming out of the timeout for the Tigers. Back to IAFL action. Just kind of pausing the button, talk a little bit of basketball. We're live here at Lenore Park, Snellville, Georgia.
A little different formation right here for the Enforcers. Looks like he's going to go down the sideline. He's got a wheel route wide open.
Did you see the flag?
I did not see the flag, but they're probably going to call a holding back there. If he gets to the other side of the field,
what was that?
Almost.
I can't tell.
Number 8 was telling him right there, buddy, if you got to the other end of the field right there.
Oh, that was pretty.
I was going to make the tackle. Well, no
flags, man.
No flags. There it is.
Well, see, the Enforcers wear yellow flags.
That is true.
Towels. So when I saw something hit the ground, I panicked a little bit. I was like,
I will say something. I kind of dig the Enforcers uniforms.
I do. I like the helmets. I'm an orange person. I mean, I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't put something on that's orange based.
So here we go. We're going to stay in this. We're going to stay in this bunch look. The Tigers have really backed off. They got that 3-4 look going. We got motion coming across right here to a double set. Snap, drop.
Looking for some movement. Is he going?
He coming back to the middle of the field. He obviously sees somebody.
Oh, my goodness.
He caught it again.
He did, but, I mean, you talk about pulling a Brett Favre going across the middle. I mean, he lined up and said, okay, let me throw back into the middle.
Right now, everything that I feel as a quarterback.
5 Tiger defenders
Yes.
and 2 enforcers in the same area, people.
And
Okay.
And everything that I feel right now as a quarterback's coach.
Yeah, you're panicking.
Is I've got I'm having a hard time dealing with that. Where'd they mark this at? I was right. It was at the 32.
This is a good response back to down 12-0.
I agree. And it may give them a glimpse into what they need to do, because we saw the Tigers play last week and they really struggled with short intermediate routes over the middle, and they ended up being in a dogfight that they had to stop a 2-point conversion play at the end of the game to keep it from being tied.
Right.
And we can debate the
validity or the value of that 2-point right.
Ooh, yeah.
I know. Understood.
1st and 10 right here at the 32. Doubles. Dropping back. Down the seam. And there's 14 people there. And there had to be offensive pass interference because he just took the safety out to keep him from picking it off.
That safety even put on the brakes a little bit and said, hey, you want to run in the back of me? Let's have a little fun right here.
But, it's funny. I think that the enforcers have now played 3 guys at quarterback. Because we saw the first guy who scrambled all over the place. Then we saw number 3, and now we've got number 4.
Yep. Well, 3's is he the quarterback right now?
3 is now.
Okay.
4 was the quarterback.
Was he the runner?
No, the guy running the ball had moved to wide receiver.
Okay.
So we have seen a bevy.
Yes, we have. Look at you big in words, man. 76 degrees here in lovely Snellville, Georgia, people.
I got news for you.
That's a little warmness when you're not used to it.
Those big guys on the front right now are the ones suffering.
Yep, they're trying to get used to it.
And here we go on the sprint.
He did it for a point. Let's see what happens.
Oh, he's got him. Make a cut.
Get in there.
Down at the 1.
Oh, my goodness.
No, wait, down at the
2-yard
line. So we're going to have 1st and goal.
Oh, that was a hustle right there.
At the 2.
Okay.
This is a great answer. An absolute great answer. Because you're looking at a chance right here where, you have a chance to score right before half.
Right, they do. I'm trying to figure out if I want to they're going to go to the line enough where I can't necessarily – I want to show that play of that wild Tiger coming on the thing. And he was running 100% to get himself to make that tackle so he can go there and score.
Poor quarterback's feeling it right now,
he
too.
Is. You get his hands on his hip, breathing heavy.
And this is funny because they've been – they went to the unbalanced look earlier in the game, and now they're back in the spread, and they still have what they want right in the middle. If they run the ball right up, they're going to get offsides. So it's going to be offsides. It's going to bring it to the 1-yard line.
It's one of those.
Did they really call that?
They're going to say they got drawn off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we'll be at the 7, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 7. So, what you thought was going to be an easy walk-in now becomes a little bit harder.
Well, it's 1st and goal. You got 7 yards. You're hoping you're able to at least do something that's vital in this manner to put it over to the top here. From a game summary, we'll click back in here in just a minute and give us a nice little game summary once we see what the outcome is and talk about how the score got where it is going into the halftime mark. The clock is not running on the field, so we don't necessarily know how much time is remaining. 12-0 here late in the second quarter.
The mass changes for both squads right here. This is one of those things where you worry about snaps. We've been in the huddle for a long time. Everybody's mad about the penalty. Spread look, straight drop. Quarterback scrambles up.
No, nothing there.
And he's going
to hold on to the ball.
Lose 5, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Goodness.
From the 12. His first inclination was to run, and then he thought he was going to have a guy coming wide open over the middle of the field, and he stopped. And when
he held it for a second. He had that ball up in the air going, hey, I wonder what I can do here. They look like they're going to call timeout, get a breather.
All right. So we've got timeout on the field here in the second quarter with 2nd and goal from the 12-yard line.
Still got 1st and goal, but I'm not going to hold that against you, man. I mean, you can see it on the screen right there, man. I can see it. There we go. Come on, there we go.
You know how it is.
I'm telling you, man.
I have to return to sender.
I tell you, address unknown, man. No such numbers, no such zone. I tell you, we're getting ready for this arena football game tomorrow, and I'm going to have to eat my Wheaties because that game is going to go fast, and we're going to have to make sure we get the score and everything running to it. It's going to be intense, to say the least.
We were watching a little bit of that earlier game.
Right.
And 1 second it was 7-1. The next second it was 9-7, and it was.
And you kept asking, "What about the scores? I don't understand the scores."
And what about? And then it was 17-14. It was in a hurry.
It's one of those ones that'll be interesting. We're going to the Civic Center. Kickoffs at 4:00. Peach State Cats taking on the Carolina Cowboys. Love for you to tune in on us, giving us our first to do with it all to see if we're able to actually call an arena game properly.
Should be fun.
Oh, it will be. I'm happy they were able to do it. Sad that we're missing our counterpart, but that's okay. He'll be back with us next week. 2nd and goal here, ball on the 12.
Doubles look. Quarterback change again. Now number 10's in the game at quarterback. Looks like he's changing the play. So we've had, they've played more quarterbacks than I've played in the last 4 years. Snap. Inside give right there.
Big man going all the way down to about the 5-yard, 7-yard line.
So we're going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 7.
And this, that's where you get a little frustrated. You had the ball like on the 3.
But you're sitting here right now at 3rd and 7. You just ran for 5 yards. Run it again.
And don't pass it.
Run it again here. Don't
pass it, please.
They're really overloaded to the right-hand side. They're going to throw the fade. And he caught that.
It. We'll look at it again
Let's
here.
See if they give him the touchdown. It looked like they were begging a referee for the call.
It looks like he came down, inside and out. Refs, let's go back and look, see if the ref
They're talking about it.
They are.
If you're talking about it, then you don't know. Then it's got to be a touchdown.
Well, you couldn't. He wasn't in the position to do it.
Nope, he can't see it.
He needed to be on top of the hill. He came down with it. The pylon's already knocked over. Oh, they're going to call incomplete. Whitecap says incomplete. Oh.
That's terrible.
It is. And then, listen to you. That's terrible. Just tell me how you really feel. Just go ahead and let it all out.
That guy just Clifford Franklin, that guy.
Give me the definition. What do you mean Clifford Franklin?
Clifford Franklin is a one-man cold. He's the only one catching it. He's the only one coming down with it.
I'll tell you. That's where you want to run the ball.
Yeah, you could have, and they knew you were going to throw it.
Yeah.
They had it
was
overloaded.
A good pass. It was good. I mean, you hope NFL quarterbacks can throw it into the corner like that because sometimes you underthrow it or you throw it. I mean, it's a hard pass.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where we work on it a lot with trash cans.
Yep, where you want to dodge it into the corner
there. But the point about throwing is you have to throw it super early. And that's what kids don't understand. They want to wait till the guy's in the end zone and then throw it. You got to throw that thing early. So we've got 4th down and goal right here. We're going to be an empty backfield. I'm still watching the quarterback run right here.
They're all
whip route to the sideline. Got a chance?
No, he went back in. Is he going to get in?
No, he's going to be out on the 1-yard line. Man. So it's going to bring
I'm dumbfounded, man. I'm
1st and 10.
You talk about defining that line there, Coach.
Wow.
I mean, they defended the goal line.
That's twice.
That was pretty. I mean, to defend the goal line right there at the end of the half. I mean, there is not much time remaining here. Ball on the 1, 1st and 10 going out. Your back's against the wall here. You don't even want to give up a big play if you're the enforcers. You're down, but you're not down. I mean, you've proven that you can move the ball on them.
You just got to finish a drive.
Yes.
And if I say this from an offensive coordinator's perspective. If I'm right here, I go into empty on my own 1-yard line, and I run 5 verticals, and I hit the seam because they're not going to cover it.
No, the speed-wise, they got them outmanned in the speed.
And here it is. They're in empty on the 1-yard line. You've got 5 in the box, so they may have bumped somebody out to cover a receiver.
They're rushing 4.
They're going to call timeout.
Definitely wanted to see. I mean, you do have the timeouts. Might as well use them. Possession-wise, it's 12-0. Give us a little game recap real quick, Coach. Tell me about how they got the scores here.
Well, the Tigers have, after an early spurt and a long run from the enforcers that got them in the Tigers' red zone. The Tigers stiffened and held that time. Had a nice drive that stalled. Then had a really good defensive stand. Got the football back. Nice drive. Scored. Realistically on just a dominating drive. Then after that, the enforcers had a couple of nice plays and failed on 4th down and 2. And then when they got the ball back, 2 plays later, the Tigers were in the end zone. So their passing game has really been what has set apart. And here we go again with an empty look, going deep. He's got a guy there and just overthrows him.
50-yard pass.
Yeah, they're not shy about what they want to do. They want to throw the football down the field. And they don't care if you know it. If you're not going to come get him, that was one of the things that, he has no pressure. Even when he scrambled, he hasn't scrambled out of necessity. He scrambled to give people time to get open.
It'd be great if you had multiple cameras and you could sit there and go, hey, let's look at the linemen and see how the defensive line, because the offensive linemen for the Tigers have improved from last year to this year. They made a point of doing that and to see where they are, and now they're just sucking wind. 4-on-5, it's a lineman's dream, and right now it looks like it's 3-on-5.
It is. They are so concerned with the deep ball now that they have literally just gone to a 3-man front. They've got 4 guys in the box right here.
They're bringing in 4.
But
he's on the run.
Yeah, but they've got everybody in cover, so he's just going to run for 17 yards.
Yep.
So it's going to be 1st down and 10.
Ball only about the 18-yard line. Good hustle for the Tigers.
And, the bad part about it is you can be so conscious of the pass and of the receivers that you forget about the guy who's got the ball in the first place. I think they dropped it at the 16-yard line. So we're still in empty right here. Morgan leading the Tigers. Here we're going to get motion into the backfield. Wouldn't be surprised to see the inside zone give right here. They got so much outnumbered in the box. Right down the middle.
And able to connect.
Mr. Hicks.
All the way back to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, they're just dicing them anytime they want to now. That's 20 more yards. 1st and 10. And, we don't know exactly how much time is left, but we've got some kind of we got a timeout.
Could be a 2-minute warning here.
Yep.
Everything's up in the air when we go, maybe it's a 2-minute warning, maybe it's not. It's one of those advantages where you're sitting there going, hey, I wonder how much time there is going on. Braves up 3-0 against the Phillies. That's nice to see. You're doing a great job watching it from the corner of your eye there, Coach.
I didn't say anything when Dansby hit the ball in the seats.
No,
so.
You're doing a great job. I appreciate the heads up. I'm trying to watch a couple monitors here, paying attention to the Orlando Apollo and the Johnny Manziel, Mike Singletary, Memphis Express. All right, 1st and 10, ball on the 36.
Straight drop. They faked a screen. They're going to the single receiver down the sideline. They threw it to another county. This quarterback, Mr. Morgan, can fire this thing. Absolutely fire it. 2nd and 10 right here at the 36. What do we have here? Oh, I know what it was. That was the last play of the first half there, Coach.
All right. And with that, it's halftime. She was able to at least give that to us, and they're going to have a certain amount on the clock. They can't get the clock running, so, hey, it's what we have as to what we have. So it's just one of those ones to begin with. So, Coach, while we got that little action here, let's hopefully she'll go in the center here. Talk to me a bit about what do you think happened first half? It's 12-0. It's early. It's a hot day at Lenore Park.
I think that if you go back and look at this, from a standpoint of the enforcers, you're going to be really upset that you have not, that you're not even, because you've had your chances offensively.
I agree.
As a defense, though, you have been Swiss cheese, and you cannot continue to play the game letting guys get free releases from the slot, because all they're doing is running inside breaking routes, whether it's a post from the slot, a dig from the slot, or a seam from the slot, and you're giving up things, because you're not getting a linebacker underneath it and you're not getting any pressure. And if you're going to do anything, you got to get pressure. So, I mean, when you look at it from this perspective, halftime adjustments would be you might want to just line up and start sending people.
I mean, right now, this is we'll recap here. This is their first score here for the Tigers.
He's just right down. I mean, this is second and goal from the 20, and if you see the release from the seam, there's just nobody there.
Right.
That's the easiest throw. That's throwing routes on air.
Yeah.
And when you throw routes on air right there, I mean, you should have completed 100% of the time. There's nobody underneath that guy. The second touchdown is just as bad. They had the little scramble out.
No, that's when they were going for the 2-point conversion that we all kind of shook our head at. Sorry about that.
It's all right. But, I mean, they overthought the 2-point conversion twice.
Right.
But this is when they had the big completion. They got down to the I think this is another 2-point conversion. Here it is.
It is. Sorry about
shift
that.
To the
we're doing our best.
Shift to the polecat right here.
Side note, I'll make sure I mark the touchdowns on the back end of this part right here. So, and this is their long 2-point conversion here still. That's their touchdown.
All right, so as you can see, there's nobody underneath that.
Yeah.
26 right there is covering the yard marker.
Yeah. I'll get back to it. I'll find the score that they had. We'll get the for the recap here.
But the second touchdown was on an inside dig route, and he had two guys he could have thrown it to. They ran an inside seam to clear out for the dig route, and he had both guys open.
Well, the one thing that I was impressed with, and I will say this, is I was impressed how well the enforcers have been able to move the ball.
Yeah, and we've seen them. They're starting to figure out some things on offense right here.
And, and I do wonder how the Heat's going to play in the second half for both teams. Overall wise, it's going to be one of those interesting factors just to see what they're able to do. And be successful overall wise. To me, it's draw back and see here.
All right, see this seam cross right there. You got guys running double digs in the back of the end zone. He just throws it right in between the linebackers.
Right.
But everybody's getting a free release.
It's hard to do anything when that's the case. So, totally understand that.
I had a defensive coordinator one time tell a referee, "You just go ahead and take the flag out of your pocket. We'll take the 10 yards because we're gonna hold these guys."
Right.
So, I mean, it's not necessarily a grab them at the line of scrimmage, but you've got to get somebody there to carry it, reroute it. They can't run 8 yards down the field, with a linebacker just going and running out to a hook to curl because your safety has no chance.
I love that when I mess with things. Trying to play with technology, and it's one of those ones, and this is nice in many ways that we're not bebopping all over the place. It is halftime. One of these days we'll actually throw up the stats to be able to give an idea of what everybody else is looking at. But glad everybody tuned in. We got, if you're wanting to scroll around the internet world, you got the Georgia Havoc versus the Georgia Doom. They're live on Doom's channel, which is nice on that part. We're getting ready for the Metro Atlanta Horsemen versus the Chattanooga Eagles. That's a undefeated matchup for both teams. Definitely excited about that and seeing what happens across the board here. Definitely stay with us. Come back. We're going to zip up a little bit more. We worry a little bit about technology, and we want to stay the drawback is that we don't want to be so far ahead that our internet gets caught up. That's the catch. We're about 30 minutes behind as it is from that. So we'll kind of take a pause, come back. We are at halftime here at Lenore Park. I'm Bo McMichael with Craig Chapman. This is the IFL Score 58 Network. Glad to bring you the action of the Atlanta Forcers versus the Atlanta Tigers. And we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready for kickoff here. The Atlanta Enforcers versus the Atlanta Tigers. Tigers up 12-0 here. Glad to have people with us. Fun, wonderful day in Lenore Park. Sunny Lenore Park, Snellville, Georgia style.
Nice and warm Lenore Park.
Yes, that is an understatement. I looked at the temperature, saw that it was 78 degrees outside. I'm like, okay, that's a little hot. That's a little warm to say the least.
Yeah, I'd much rather it be 78 than 48 and raining.
I agree. Now, of course, once things get started, you know it's going to get a little choppy here, so hopefully we'll get things rolling. Once again, the Internet's not helping us out a great deal at Lenore Park, so the pickup, it'll catch up with us here in just a minute, so have some patience with us. You know, it's one of those ones that we have to deal with based where it's located. The internet is very slow in that area. There's not, as my filmer said, we got 2 bars. That's all we got. So we've done our best to make it a delay the best way we could. So first part of the game really goes in the favor of the Tigers, but the Enforcers have had their opportunity, to say the least.
Very, very much so. I'm wondering if they're going to throw offsides on this kickoff with this guy standing on the line down
They
here.
all got yelled at to move back, so they did.
So here we go. We're going to get the kick from the Enforcers. Little squib kick down the middle.
Got about the 10-yard line. That's a nice bounce he was able to catch. Oh, he's going to reverse.
Uh-oh. That is great coverage.
Yes.
He'll be down at the 17-yard line.
I think he ran 57 yards.
He did. He ran 57 yards to gain 7.
Yeah. Hey, man, beggars can't be choosers right there. You do what you can with what you got.
Well, I tell you what, if this was our team playing, there would be every flag that could be thrown.
Based on that.
Because when somebody reverses field when us, there's going to be 37 blindside blocks. Everybody in our team is taking a shot at hitting somebody.
Oh, yeah, especially when they reverse that footage. Once again, this is Score 58 Network. I'm Bo McMichael with Craig Chapman bringing you some live IAFL action to doubleheader today. The Atlanta Enforcers versus the Tigers. Later on, we're going to see the Eagles take on the Horsemen. Glad to have you with us here on a nice sunny afternoon in the state of Georgia.
So now this will be interesting. The Enforcers have to get a stop. This cannot be a place where they give up anything.
I've got to convince the commissioner of the league to send me a case of the Dark Horse.
Ah, yes.
That would be nice to for the Dark Horse Brewery.
Yeah, I was looking at the thing, and they have another sponsor. It's a pizza place.
Yes, well, it's right below it.
Yes.
It's all a part of the same thing. So I'm excited about the.
Tigers going to change it up right here at the start of the second half. They got a little power back. Here comes the jet.
You even saw that coming, man. Pop that ball up. He's looking for a reversal right there.
He gained nothing. That was really nice defense by the Enforcers. And I'm going to say, that he's going to get about a yard there. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 9.
Once again, we do appreciate anybody tuning in and joining us. We're happy that we're able to call some football. We're getting ready for our first Arena League game tomorrow. The Peach State Cats taking on the Carolina Cowboys, and then the Georgia Knight Preparatory Academy will have that was a big fly. That was mammoth right there, a little Godzilla action going on. We'll actually have an opportunity to bring a little Georgia Knights Preparatory Academy to you as well, if everything works and the proper direction for us.
It looks like the Tigers have gone into stall mode with a 12-point lead to start the second half.
No rush,
no pace, no area. That's what happens when you change what you do. So you're going to get a 5-yard penalty. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 14 now.
I mean, they were up 14-0 against the Sabres last week, and the Sabres did come back in the second half. So
you know what they say about experience and lesson learned, right?
Yeah, you hope that everybody kind of goes, okay, hey, what is the outcome in this situation? So
they may have said that the reason why they came back is because we didn't run the ball enough. So that may be their, they've got the tight end in the game, got a little power back, sniffer back over here set to the right, slot to the left, back set to the right. See if we get jet right here with a little fake and the inside handoff.
Well, we've done jet twice.
Oh, you're going to throw it deep.
Cameraman's going to pick it up. She does a great job of getting it.
Nicely broken up.
defense-wise, once again, sorry for the technical piece of it. It's one of the ones that we're dealing with right now. It'll pick back up here in just a second. If you enjoy the electric robotic camera, that's where we're at right now.
Good dance moves back in the 80s.
Yes, it was. You can dance if you want to. It looks like there is a flag on the ground.
We're going to call roughing the passer right here.
And just like that, it'll catch back up with us.
There you go.
The only thing I could say is if we were there trying to film it live, it would be little rough across the board to pick up with that. So I do appreciate your patience watching the game. Roughing the passer. Could this be a nice little turning point?
Well, let's see what we got. It may be offsetting. It looks like he's talking about
a boot. A
So
boot.
I was about to say-
when did you join the Canadian League of Boots?
when they were two oots. I don't know what they're doing right here.
I'm enjoying that. That's a new one for me. I asked the question. We're going to have an alcoholic beverage conversation here for a second. They've changed a lot of these bottles to cans now. Have you noticed that?
I have not.
I can tell where your world is compared to mine. I finally asked somebody why are we all moving back towards cans, and they said it's cheaper. Actually the beverage is held better inside of a can than it is in a bottle.
This may have been a personal foul.
Well, you didn't like my alcoholic conversation.
I did.
No,
I'm just
it's
trying
all right.
to.
You deal with your point, man. It's all right, head coach. You do what you can, 3rd and 14.
I think it's actually 3rd and about.
You'll get yourself scraped.
20.
Another fake on the jet. Going to be a pickoff. Oh, come on, big man. You got to catch it, number 5.
The guy on the other side of the field is so wide open.
Let's look. Number 5, I want to call your name out since you dropped the ball.
Nah.
Justin Clark. I called him Justine because it had an E in it. Apologize. Don't come find me, man. You got to catch that ball, Mr. Clark.
Now, according to what they have said over there, it's 4th down and 20.
I'm not going to fire you. The best one is when we're going to be seeing this with AstroTurf, and it's only a 50-yard field.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be
and
brutal.
your brain's going to have to process,
So now we should get a punt. So enforcers do exactly what they need to do.
I'm a true believer that I'm always the first 6 to 10 minutes of the first half, the second half is so critical. They always talk about the first 5 minutes. I usually go.
Well, they're going to get a chance to return this.
Yeah, they are.
That is great coverage.
Takes it all the way. I mean, they got it right at we're going to say the
33.
33-yard line, and they've shown that they can drive the ball.
Now, if they've got a shorter field, perhaps, they don't have to worry about the missteps that happened when they got to the 1-yard line.
Definitely understand that. Hey, for those people out there watching, if you're in the Metro Atlanta area or anything and you're looking for a job within Score Sports, hey, come hook us, connect with us, scoresports58@gmail.com, or tweet us or send me a Facebook. Give us something. Hey, if you're always interested in doing something from a broadcast perspective and you have what we call a face for radio, we'd love to bring you about and get you started in here in the right direction. This is the Atlanta Forces versus the Atlanta Tigers. We bring IFL action live to you every Saturday as much as we can. Things are going to get a little tricky next week. We got the first women's football game, the WNFSC, the Women's National Football Conference, kicking off. So things are going to get a little crazy, to say the least.
All right, so we're back to the quarterback that started the game now. So we're going to go see if we get a little run action right here. We're going to move and slide to front. Nope. Looks like we may have a doubles look right here. And this drop back is just that.
Yep.
It's just let everybody get up the field so I can run.
He was number 6, wasn't he? Is that
I think that's number 6.
Yeah, his hair went up in the air, so I was able to see that. Number 6 looks like Mr. Hassel, Hassell.
Not Haskell, right?
No, not Haskell, not Eddie. Eddie is not. We left Beaver alone in this situation.
So it looks like we're going to be 2nd and 5 right here at about the 28-yard line. But that drop back for them, that is not a pass play.
No, that's just to clear everybody out, right?
Make sure that you let that guy run up the field. Let me pick a hole. So, this is the Mario Fan and Lovejoy offense.
I tell you, watched the opening day of the Braves. I didn't get frustrated with them because I knew what they were getting themselves into.
1 of 162, baby.
Yeah, that's all I look at. It's nice to be up 3-1 in the 3rd right now. Here we go.
And here it goes again.
Yep, because he's not, and they're going to legal procedure it on the enforcers.
Yes.
Knock it back 5 yards. Be on the 33 now. Ball on the 33, 1st and 15.
So right back to where we started from, just with a loss of a down. So, I mean, the enforcers have killed themselves. They had the ball 1st and goal at the 3.
Oh,
at the 2.
This game it was theirs to take.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an undefeated Tiger team that has not been able to I mean, I wouldn't say the enforcers are beating themselves.
No.
Okay. By no means. What I'm looking at is, and I appreciate you not giggling because I giggled when I said it, but I appreciate, now you got it. There we go. But I appreciate, you know, the effort that the Tigers are not messing up. Well, normally, sometimes the Tigers kick them own selves in the butt.
They do.
And they're not doing it tonight. They're winning the game because they're doing the right things right.
They've played very smart.
Yes.
2nd and 10, drop. See where I can run.
He is. That's all he's doing.
That's what it is.
And you backed up and went forward.
And if he gets out on this side right here, this is going to be trouble.
Yes, it is.
Ooh, what a move.
It's pretty. That was pretty. Look at this. Look.
He leaves this one dude.
He did. Right here. He put on the brakes.
He stops on a dime and gives him 9 cents change.
Oh, goodness gracious. Somebody asked for a quarter. He gave him 2 nickels and a dime.
So that's going to be a 1st down right there.
Oh, that was good. Not bad at all. Hey there, Alan Reeves. Glad that you joined us. Appreciate you helping our country out in the best way possible. I always like to see who's joined us on the old Facebook world.
So Alan's with us?
He's with us for a second. Doesn't mean that he stayed with us. But we've had a couple, and we even had an old tight end and defensive end, Christopher Huff, joined us. Mr. Cool Socks right there.
There it is. So it looks like it's 1st and goal from the 10 right here. The defensive line for the Tigers has got to be tired.
No.
Well, he was trying to throw that corner route right there.
Okay.
And he had the guy open, but he gets hit from behind. That is the one negative with holding the ball that long. So it'll bring up 2nd and goal, ball on the 10 right here.
I'm not trying to get frustrated with the enforcers because I truly believe the offense coordinator, Coach Moore, does a great job with the team. If anything, I feel like I said, it's a great organization of what they're trying to build. But offensively, they struggled all year, and we're seeing it today.
Well, here, right now, there's an old saying in football: if you have more than one quarterback, you don't have a quarterback.
Right? They don't.
They're switching quarterbacks back and forth. Number 3 is back in the game at quarterback.
And 6, I mean, because they're trying to pass the ball at this point.
And so they're now at 2nd and goal at the 10. They're going to empty the backfield out.
And we're sorry for, once again, the technology-wise.
We got the delayed snap.
It is. We'll see what actually it looks
and
like.
It was an interception.
Yep. I'm going to go back the other way.
Number 31. He made huge plays last week. And he ran out of bounds.
You can watch that back there, Tigers. Sorry for the technical difficulties on that part. Can't do anything about it just because, hey, that's the way technology got us. We do have it on our other cameras, so you'll be able to see it, Tigers and Enforcers, on your breakdown film. But on the live broadcast, no, you cannot. Just the way certain things work, I'm not going to try to rewind it and get us caught back up.
That was
that's a game changer right there.
I mean, that's the 3rd time inside the red zone that the Tigers have stopped the Enforcers. The Enforcers got to be kicking themselves, thinking we've been right here.
I know, and I feel like I'm being pro Enforcers, and I'm not. I'm wanting to see a good game, so I'm rooting for both of those things to occur.
That was illegal motion. They didn't call it, but here we go again. 1st down to the 43-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 again at the 43-yard line.
I am getting fairly pumped about the Horsemen and the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I'm hoping the technology will work for us there.
I've heard you say it.
I'm a little nervous, man. I'm a little afraid and scared in that situation, but we'll see what happens.
Man, this formation is going to give the Enforcers just straight. Oh, look at that.
Dropped it.
But they have gone to a more man underneath look right here. So they're trying to do something different than they did in the first half. But that empty with the bunch set out to the left right there, there's just, limitless possibilities with what you can do. And right now, with what they've got working, anything in the middle of the field out of this, any kind of shallow cross,
right,
is just wide open because now they've gone back to the 4-man pressure. And that's using that term loosely because they haven't gotten any. But here we go. Another drop pass brings up 3rd and 10. We should be down at about the 10-yard line right now. And as the coach on the sideline with his arms raised up is saying, come on, man, let's go. Catch the ball. I've never heard a coach say, catch the ball on the sideline. They are always really nice and complimentary to the receivers when they drop it. We understand. Coach Collins has never yelled, catch the ball.
No, not at all.
I've never yelled it.
Yeah, not at all.
So we got empty right here on 3rd and 10 at the 43-yard line. Huge play for the Enforcers right here. And I'm telling you, the left-hand slot guy is the guy to be paying attention to. And now they're going back to the right. And, this is a really nice adjustment right here in the second half by the Enforcers. They've changed the way they're doing things on the back end of their defense, and they have covered people up down the field, which was a big problem in the first half. They didn't give a free release to the left-hand slot over there. They carried that guy all the way down the seam, and they're going to get 4th down right here, and I'm going to be interested to see what exactly the Tigers come up with.
We were watching that first part of that game between the Havoc and the Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Havoc came back and won.
Really?
Yeah, they came back and won. I just brought that thing up just a little bit just to see what the outcome was, and sure enough.
Oh, wait a minute here.
No, just technology.
Looks like the Enforcers took the ball away from the Tigers. Are they going to give him that? They did not, and it will be a first down that they converted on 4th and 10. They get the ball down to the 33-yard line, so they get exactly 10.
All right, we'll see if we can bring that back. We were talking about this. Let's see if we can get a good. Of course, it's still doing it.
When he hits him right here, I guess they're going to call
That
forward
the ball
progress.
Didn't come out right, that he didn't come out as well.
Because number 16 for the Enforcers has the ball right there. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I hate that statement. Anytime everybody says that I want to have a baseball bat, somebody says it is what it is. No, it's definitely not. 1st and 10 for the Tigers, 12-0 here in the 3rd quarter. We won't be able to tell when it's the 4th quarter because they haven't flipped fields. So
yeah, that's it's one of those things that's going to be a thing that bugs me greatly because without having a clock, that's about the only way we can tell.
Right.
So it's 1st and 10, ball on the 33.
And of course, that's when it gives the first hiccup. Once again, this is technology. We do apologize. You hang in there with us. We'll give the best we can in this situation. So it's just one of those things that have become an issue because of where they're at in Snellville, Georgia.
Well, we have a coach wanting to discuss why that wasn't a fumble. I appreciate that. Giving himself a chance to let his defense get a little breather right there. So you got 1st and 10 at the 33. The Enforcers have got to make a play. They've switched back to the 3-man front in this empty set for the Tigers. Morgan drops, fires over the middle, and that is caught. Ball is down to the 21-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down and 10. Now this is one of those things. Now you've got to be the one right here that bows your back right here, and gets this stop. It has to happen. I mean, and it seems like we're talking an awful lot about that in the 3rd quarter. But if they go up 3 scores,
oh yeah,
and you've given away 3 chances inside their red zone,
it changes the whole complexity of it. You're exactly right there, Coach. I mean, it just does, just based on the heat. The tiredness, the understanding of what you got to do to come back.
Yeah, and the Tigers, realistically on their defensive front, they were sucking wind last drive.
They were.
And they were chasing the quarterback around, and having to rush, and that guy was holding the ball for 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds, then running.
A little bit different in that situation.
And they bailed themselves out again with the interception.
Glad everybody could join us.
Here comes the quarterback scramble.
Yeah, technology. Hang in there, people. Yeah, sometimes catch up with us.
And he's going to go down at about the (23-yard line.
Yeah, give or take.
So they didn't give him a 1st down on that last play.
No.
So this is going to be 3rd down and 2.
The good thing is we're a live feed, so they can hear our voice.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was choppy.
There's this quick slant over the middle, and he
Oh,
caught it.
That was pretty.
Stayed with it, and he's going to get the 1st down. He's going to be down real close to the 10-yard line.
Eye coordination. Number 7 for the Tigers. Who is that? Apologize for putting you on the spot. I'll get him up there. Number 7.
Taylor.
Mr. Taylor. Half quarterback, half receiver. All eyes on that one right there.
All hands right there,
all
baby.
All hands, man.
Made a great catch.
He did. Just to be able to kind of keep following the ball all the way through the end, that was good.
Looks like it's going to be 1st and goal.
Oh.
Hello.
Number 9, you got to wrap up there, buddy.
He got back to it.
Hey, that's an attaboy right there. From a hustle perspective, that's just awesome.
Now we got a penalty on the flag, it looks
Should
like.
be defensive offsides is what it looks like it's going to be called. I feel like I need another TV in here. I'm just going to be aware of that. So I am happy that, though, the technology's held up a little bit with the streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that if we do have another game at Lenore Park, we're able to actually figure that part out just a little bit. The big question will be the other environment that we're heading over to. I am a little nervous about that one because I know a lot of people are looking forward to watching the Eagles versus the Horsemen, and so I think so am I. But goodness gracious!
Well, I haven't.
Did you hear a voice?
I did. I heard somebody.
I did too. I had to go check to make sure. We both got quiet.
I was like what?
Yeah.
So it looks like they're at the 4. 1st and goal from the 4. Quarterback's going to scramble out to the right. Got the ball held out there, and he goes down. I don't guess that's the 4 either.
I want them to just tuck the ball away. They're going to say it's a 1st down.
No.
So what you had was not the ball was on the 4.
No.
Maybe it was on the 14.
I'm guessing but they never had
I know.
They didn't move the chain, so it was messing me up.
I hear you.
So I have no idea where the ball is at right now. I just know it is 1st and goal. Maybe the 6. So we're going to go with that.
I like that.
Inside give. Met at the goal line, touchdown.
Wow, that was a good effort. The explosion right here, you're going to see here in just a minute. What he puts on right there when
yes.
And granted, it looks like the enforcers really impacted the paint on themselves right there with the 2 guys still sitting there right there. So it's going to push the lead to 18-0 here in the 3rd quarter / 4th quarter. We'll just call it the 2nd half.
Well, I really like Mick Austin, excuse me.
Is that the Tigers?
That is the Tigers, the running back that just scored right there.
He's got a nice explosion.
He's a really good player, and he has really good vision. And here we go. Polecat.
So how long do you think they spent time on this?
They had to because that's the only reason to run it. This is not I mean, there's got to be something other than the fade.
Well, I mean.
Oh, did you see that? The big guy in the end zone.
He's clapping his
nobody
hand.
Around him.
He's clapping his hand. Look, right here. You can see it. He's still clapping his hand going, hey, I want the ball. Just give me the ball. If you give me the ball, I got more of a chance if you can just give me the ball. Oh, that'd been nice on that part.
That would have been great. We got that the big man touchdown or big man 2-point conversion.
18-0 here in the 3rd or the 2nd half of this matchup between the Tigers and the Enforcers.
And I really do kind of hate the way this has played out for the Enforcers because they should have scored in the 1st half at least once.
Oh,
and
so you're being nice.
And they should have scored when the guy caught the ball in the end zone.
I mean, and that's where you're kind of going, okay. I mean, it definitely would have been a different game. And nothing worse when you say it's 18-0, but it was a good game. It's been a good game. It hasn't been a lopsided 18-0 game.
It's been an up and down the field 18-0 game. If that makes any sense to you, it hasn't been played on one side of the field.
No, and you would think 18-0 they controlled it defensively.
Mm-hmm.
No, the defense have had for the Tigers. They've given up. I mean, they've given up a lot of yardage.
And they've made timely plays. Something that
that whole catching. I mean, where he caught him on the 1-yard line. That was great, unbelievable. That's one of those ones that just like, okay, great. That's where you go, hey, the Tigers are for real this year. They're going to, the matchups that they have this year, They're not going to play the Horsemen, which I wish they were going to play them, but they're not. They're fairly in control of the Dark Side division. They're going to play the Ducks. I mean, they've already beat the Ducks. So, I mean, they're heading themselves into playoff and just waiting to kind of play out the games and getting better each time.
Wow.
He booted it.
Hammered through the back of the end zone.
Goodness gracious.
So I'm going to guess and say this comes out to the 25.
I would say it's 25.
So
I would agree with you on that one there, man.
You know, and I'll say this. You know, we sit here every Saturday. Every Saturday we watch this and we talk about the keys to the game, and we say the quarterback center exchange and special teams and things like that, and people probably get tired of hearing it thinking these guys need to get some new material. But if you can play special teams in this league, then you got a chance to put something on some people.
And the one thing we have not seen to this point, we have not seen extra point field goals.
No, we haven't seen that.
And if you see, and you've joined us here, you're aware of the technology. I mean, it's a stutter formation right now. It's just the internet catching up, and then it'll eventually catch up and start streaming again. The one thing we haven't seen is what? The buffering. And I'm happy that we haven't seen it. Yeah, I'm okay with a little stagminate kind of up and down. Ooh, that's a sonic blizzard. That looks good. I'm paying attention to the things.
So that looks like it's at the 20. And I was going to say this before that was going to be the wheel route, and it was, but he went backside over there, picked up a nice 7 yards.
About on the 27. So when it goes out of bounds, it goes to the 20, Coach. So we got that noted in our brains.
So it's going to bring up second down and 3 at the 27. Yeah, you know, we were playing NFL rules right now. You get it out of here and
right.
Goes to the 25. So, you know, right now you got second down and about 3 right here. Going to go to the – we are going to go to the wheel route.
Stop running backwards.
And it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 34.
Great job. And once again, this is nothing new. We've seen this all game. You know, so it's one of those moments. You know, you want them to be successful, but you also know that when it comes to times, the Tigers step up.
And you know, it's frustrating if you're an Enforcers fan and a player because you've been right there in this game.
Oh yeah, the whole time. This is not a game that you come across going, we got dominated. You did not make the big plays.
Inside give. Must have been a false start.
It must have been right there.
Because if it's not, then and there we go. We're going to get 15 just through the next flag. So you've got the flag for the false start. So that'll back it up to the 29, and then we'll see if it's an offsetting penalty. Or if they're going – I think they're going –
march it off in a different direction right there.
Let's see. I think they're going to call offsetting penalties, though. I don't think they're going to end up marching it off in a different direction.
And they're just going to play it again? Play it again, Sam?
I'm guessing that's what they're going to do. So we're going to start this thing back over.
And act like it didn't happen.
That play did not happen.
Yeah, these droids, you know nothing of these droids?
These are not the droids you're looking for.
What? I thought they were the same ones that I was looking for. I did not know that would be the case.
This is great. It's so when the referee makes a call and the side judge goes, "Hey man, what did you just call? You can't do that." There we go.
Now they're having that conversation. And 57 for the Enforcers is fired.
He's not having none of this.
He's trying to calm down.
And this is great.
I will say, you know, I always go back in my mind and go, okay, hey, if this type of organization existed when I left college football, when I left college, would I have tried to venture into this? You know, and I don't think so, but it's spring. So, and I know there's a lot of football coaches that actually participate in this.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day type thing. So, I mean, I don't know if it would have been past my brain to do it or not, but it's very interesting. They did march it off.
Yep. They did.
Yeah.
I can tell you this much. When I was in college, I played on a 30 and over baseball, and
right.
Man,
was it intense?
Oh, it was great fun. And he's intensely. Oh no!
Oh no!
Incomplete. Oh,
You got to catch that, buddy.
You do, and then you got to score with it. They need you right there. You got to get that. You know, you got to catch that and make whatever move necessary to get in the end zone. But, you know, I played in that. It was a 30 and over league, and you could have 5 kids that were under 30.
Right.
So there were 5 of us. We played our junior year in college, our senior year in college. Then I played again the year I coached in college.
Yeah.
I played 2 weekends. On the second weekend, it was 95 degrees outside, and we played a doubleheader on Saturday, a doubleheader on Sunday.
Were you done?
And I got home that night, and Scott John called me and said, hey, man, you want to coach the summer ball team? And I said, I will be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I never went back. It was brutal.
I bet.
So now you got 2nd and 15 right here.
I mean, that's where my hat goes off to these gentlemen
Mm-hmm.
for wanting to take it to the next level and play this game of football. It's easy for me. Nothing there. Nothing. I mean, it's a lot of things for me on my end to call the game. I mean, I've played it in 3 different worlds, so I'm okay with that in the sense that I've played in the collegiate level. I played in the high school and played in the youth level, and I've been able to coach it in a high school level. So I'm fine with calling the game now and being able to film it and be a part of it. But my hat does go off to come out here. The first thing I can remember you asking last year, how much practice do you get?
Yeah.
You know,
that's me speaking strictly from that coaching perspective, and
right.
I'm thinking these guys are out here running switch go routes and all that other stuff.
Change to the third. Yep.
I think that's a change to the third.
I would say flip it over to the fourth quarter.
We are going to do that.
Yeah, I would say so too on that part.
No, the one thing that would be really, we're going to find out a little bit about the enforcers right here is, you're down 18, you're going to the fourth quarter, you got 12 minutes left to play, you've been chasing receivers all over the field, and nothing has worked out really good for you. And now all of a sudden you're down 18 with 12 minutes left to go, and it's hot. Just how hard do you want to play for the rest of this time? You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I mean, and that's where, I mean, you see that in collegiate, you see that in high school, you see that in the NFL. But, I mean, a lot of times you really do see it more here in the IAFL because it's a matter of what are you playing for your teammates at this point? But to me, I'm the last person to say the game's over with. No. 18-0, anything's possible.
Well, we saw that last year.
Right. I'm never wanting to say that because as soon as I say that, next thing you know, we're looking at something a little bit different. So they're going to punt here on the 4th down. Not a good punt. Looks like it went up in the air. And he went back.
This is going to be a negative punt.
Got it on the 20-yard line. It is 7 yards loss. They kicked it from the 27. The ball went out on the 20. Goodness gracious.
Holy smokes.
The wind's not that bad. The wind is not that bad.
There is, if my brother is watching this, he's yelling out names of punters from Lovejoy that did this in a playoff game.
I tell you, just when you and I'm not a punter, so I'm not a deep snapper, so I don't understand the skill, but I also know you got to punt forward.
Well, I can tell you this much: it's not as easy as people want to make it out to be. And they're going for the jugular.
Yes, they are.
And they're going to whip it out there. They're going to gain about 3 on 1st down. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7.
Now, for those people hanging with us, we will, once the game concludes here today, we will take about a 15-minute break. We will go off the air and come back on to bring you the Chattanooga Eagles versus the Metro Atlanta Horsemen. So when you see us click off, don't go, hey, where did you go? We're just trying to make sure technology, everything's working properly to get us set here for the matchup. Going to kick off for us roughly about 6:15, 6:20, 6:25, depending on how everything looks. We have been able to broadcast out of that environment before, but it's definitely not pretty, to say the least. So sit back and definitely enjoy that. We will come back in live here on that part. Is it going to be a 1st down right there for you, Coach?
They called some sort of penalty.
Some sort. That's awesome.
And
where do you think the ball's at, man?
It's right at the 6.
I know.
But they're going to throw the fade, and again.
Nothing there.
The funny thing about it was I watched him mark off 15 yards. And when he marked off the 15 yards, he was inside the 30, so it should have been a half the distance penalty.
Now, Mr. Foreman on Facebook, you gave me a thumbs down. Make sure that you tell me why you give me a thumbs down. And I like that, Mr. Benefield, looking like you got a cup there. You got to define what those things are. My brain's not that smart, but I'd love to be able to participate in
there you go.
your mannerisms and comment on anything that you have out there. We will be going live on Twitter for the second game.
There's a pump fake going to the back of the end zone.
That was pretty. Did he catch that?
Yes, he did. That'd be a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness gracious alive. Let's see if we can get that. That was pretty.
And that was a great throw. He went up between
Yes, he did.
two guys. No juggle, no bobble.
Oh, it was pretty.
That is a great athletic play.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'm glad we even got the slow motion on the high five right there before he clicks back up. So, goodness gracious alive.
I mean, that's called wanting the football.
Yes. And he went up and got the football
He
right
did.
there.
He went. He attacked it.
Oh, wow. That was nice.
High pointed it, brings it down, and, secures it through the catch, as Mike Pereira would say. The one phrase I hate.
Well, and he did to the point that even his knee hit the ground before.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a foot. It was definitely a knee.
All right, so are they going to do it again, Coach?
I hope not, but they got to work on it.
They need to throw it to the big guy. I would pay money to see them throw it to the big guy.
I just want them. I mean, they showed that they could punt and kick off. Why aren't they kicking extra points?
That is true.
That's just me. I understand 2 points are better than one. It's 24-0 here at Lenore Park, Snellville, Georgia. Tigers over the Enforcers.
Philly special. Slant.
No.
Incomplete. So right now,
but I appreciate them not. And you almost think that what was the reason that they didn't call it? Was it because at this point, why not call it?
Yeah.
Why not go ahead if you're working on it? Because the only thing that's going to do is people are going to go back and watch the game and go, "Hey, we need to."
We got to line up to this.
Yeah, we got to make sure we all cover this, or because it's going to be 2 points, it's going to be hurting us in the future.
Yeah,
so.
My first year as a head coach, we were playing a team across town early in the season, and we lined up in the wrong formation 4 straight plays. And when we lined up in the wrong formation, one of my assistant coaches goes, "You can't line up in that formation and run this play." And I said, "Well, we ran it 3 times, and we've gained 35 yards.
So why wouldn't you continue to do that?"
And
right.
I said, "And I'm not going to change it right now." And the other team called timeout, and when they called timeout, they said my guy came over and said, "Coach, am I lined up in the right spot?" And I said, "Well, no, but it was working, so I wasn't going to say anything to you." And he just started laughing, and so we got to the coaches meeting on Sunday, and they said, "Why didn't you change it?" I said, "Well, it was working, and that's just something else somebody's got to draw up." So, I'm pretty certain that somebody spent an extra 5 minutes in practice worrying about an overset that we didn't even have.
Right, and that you wouldn't do that in point.
So
everybody's giving comments saying they say something like the defense looks out of shape. I'm like, the defense is dealing with 78-degree temperature.
Well, they might be out of shape.
They definitely. I mean, it's a barometer right there.
Yeah,
you're definitely getting a temperature gauge on the fact of what you're able to handle. And the only thing is, it is going to get hotter.
Yes, that's the thing.
You're going to play into the month of April and then head into the month of May. That is going to be full of that.
And you think about it, this might be the first time some of these guys have been out in the middle of the day playing.
Good call. Well, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. You're exactly right. Good call. Good call on that. One of the first things when I was ever playing college, and we had that 2 o'clock, 1:30 kickoff, that I was not mentally ready for compared to playing high school ball.
I'm sure a 1 o'clock kickoff the first week of September is a different animal that none of us wants to experience now at the age of 40 plus.
No. I'm good. I appreciate that though. Thank you. All right.
And here's the kick. Tigers' kicking game has been much improved.
I want to tell them, hey, they got to get on that. Oh my goodness.
He could have taken that knee, right?
Well, I'm thinking he was in the end zone.
Because he got to the 2. So
maybe the ball hit where it wasn't out, and it wasn't going into the end zone. He had to pick it up. At least he was smart enough to grab it to do that on that part. But ball's on the 2 for the Enforcers.
And we've told this story before, but I've seen the ball lay at the 1-yard line and 2 returners stare at each other and go,
"Who's getting it?"
Nobody's going to get it, and the other team fall on it. I was like, well, I'm fired because I was coaching those guys.
Yeah, special teams right there, man. That'll
So
make and break a team big time.
And the Enforcers back on offense right here, trailing 24-0. And, we're going to find out a little bit about, what they do. It looks like the ball's about on the 2-yard line right here. So, this is a for all intents and purposes right now, this game is over.
Oh,
So
I mean, 24-0 right now. You're definitely right. You're playing for your own ability to. I would say you're playing for your team right now. I mean, and the old saying, and people are dropping off right now as we're watching because they're like, hey, the game's done, 24-0. It was an early kickoff. We got a lot more games coming across here at the kickoff point, so it should be a fun rest of the evening.
Inside, oh, wow. I don't think what just happened was legal. And there is –
They took out some folks right there. Look at it.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Almost saw the brick wall come into play again.
I understand.
That coach is a man over there. He took on 2 people and didn't go to the ground.
No, he did not.
If that was me, he'd be calling the paramedics. I'm pretty sure that play wasn't legal.
No.
Because I'm pretty sure there were 10 linemen downfield when he threw the ball, and they don't even have 10 linemen on the field.
Well, based on the delay, I wonder if they are going to throw the flag. You got like 42 just walking it back, man. He is walking it back. Like we're in the middle of a wedding reception and somebody said, walk it back, walk it back. He taking his time on that part.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 10. And the guy running the scoreboard needs to catch up.
It's all right, man. I don't hold that against you when it's 24-0. The Tigers looks like they're going to improve to 5-0.
Wow.
Setting for an interesting rest of the season. It's an 8-game season, so they got 3 more games remaining. Not sure what opponent they're playing next week. They're sitting in, when we talk about the rankings-wise, once again, sorry for the technology. It'll catch up with us here in a minute, and if it doesn't, I'll just start screaming. But they are 4th ranking behind the Eagles, the Horsemen, and the champions from last year, the Garden City Seahawks. And lucky for us, I mean, we get the number 2 versus number 3 matchup tonight when we talk about the Eagles and the Horsemen.
Can't wait, man.
Well, and I'm jinxing myself because it's probably not going to work out for us.
Oh, it's going to work out.
So what are they going to call here?
Illegal 24-0?
Maybe. I mean, it's
So it's going to be in 1st down.
I love that Whitecap holds the ball up every time, but it just freaks me out.
Yeah.
He should not raise that ball above his head. I'm thinking to myself, the moment he does that, bad things are about to. It's that ball game. Anytime you grab a ball, I know I'm just placing it right here. For those people watching the Braves and the Phillies, it's 3-1. Braves over the Phillies. He throwing it.
And it's caught.
Great catch.
I was just wanting the ball more than the guy in front of him.
He was the one that dropped it.
Yeah, he was.
So, I mean, number 82 for the Enforcers. Let's go ahead and give his name from a proper catch perspective. Good job, Gilly Jr. Gilly or Gillie? Gilly?
I would say Gilly.
Yeah, Thomas Gilly Jr., number 82. You made a comeback right there, man, because you missed that one catch that really –
well, he had the long catch. He also had the long catch on the wheel route that he cut all the way back across the field and was one guy away from maybe.
The sniper in the grass always seems to get us most of the time. So it's just part of life sometimes, man. But great job on his end. And I appreciate their go-to attitude.
Yeah, they're not.
No. So don't be watching the Braves. Focus on this, man.
All right, here you go. We got doubles gun. Here we go. We got our scrambling quarterback back in the game.
Not the runner, but the scrambler.
And he's going to lose one right there and bring up 2nd and 11.
Back to the 50-yard line. Or the 49, depending on how nice they are.
Looks like they're going to give him the 49 right there.
I'll tell you one thing. If I'm the defense for the Tigers, I just want to kill him.
Yeah, I mean, because
Stop running. Stop running.
All he's done all day is just run.
Yes.
And, I mean, and the drop back is just one of those things where we're going to drop back right here. And we're going to make this, we're going to make this look like pass. And then it's going to be, I'm going to look for the opening in the, in the gap, and I'm going to take off. So I would expect to see more of that right here.
I'd agree. 2nd and 11, ball on the 49 for the Enforcers. Yes, 82, you got to step back a little bit.
Snap, quick throw out to the side. Made a man miss, stayed in bounds.
Great job. Not enough for a 1st down. We got all the way down to about, the 43?
Looks like he's at the 43-yard line, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Once again, appreciate everybody kind of tuning in with us. We always get that back watch a little bit where they turn around and watch us after the fact. It's 3 o'clock. Everybody's getting ready for games. So it's one of those ones. Live here on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. I haven't promoted my new reality show, but I probably will eventually.
There you go.
And it might even show the preview.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah,
So.
it was marked this week. I hadn't said anything about it to the family yet, but now they all know.
Oh, yeah, once I kind of went live with it to say, hey, April 4th.
Going deep.
He's slinging it.
Go get it. Oh.
2 and 3.
Well, that's going to bring up 4th down and 5 right here, but, hey, take the shot.
I know. I mean, it might as well on that part, and they'll probably throw the shot again here for that. So, I mean, to me, 24. I've seen 24-0 ball games, and they've been horrible, and you're just waiting for the game. This one, the Enforcers are well organized. They play. I'm a little frustrated with them that they could not do the little things. I go back to that when they stopped them on the 1 yard line.
Yes.
On 4th down. And hats go off to the Tigers, hands down. The defense of the Tigers, even though they're kind of the bend don't break type philosophy tonight.
And I'm so confused now. I just looked on the field and saw the 50-yard line and then the 30-yard line marker over there. I'm lost. 4th and 5 right here.
I don't know if they moved it or not.
Somebody threw it.
Yeah.
Snap, drop.
It's definitely not.
Definitely.
Oh, you got to get rid of it, buddy. Okay.
And he does. And broken up on the play.
Good effort. At least he threw it.
Yes.
And he didn't take the loss.
Gave himself a chance to get the 1st down.
So you're saying I got a chance?
Yes, I am. So it'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 43-yard line. Running here in the 4th quarter. How do they do? Do they do any kind of a mercy rule?
No
mercy rule?
No. I mean, it's a running clock after a certain amount, but I think it's the same thing where it's got to get plus 30.
Okay.
So, I mean, to me, not that, it might be a running clock. However, we do not know this.
Yes.
Based on where they're at.
That'll be interesting to see what the Tigers do right here. Their offense has been predicated on spreading out, the defense and doing all that stuff and getting seam routes and then opening in there. They come right back into the empty look. It'll be interesting to see if this is some kind of motion for a jet sweep. So,
well, the ref still hasn't cleared the ball, so definitely. I mean, they haven't run the clock. Whitecap's walking over, trying to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
Where did he go? Where did who go? They're gonna march another 5 yards, maybe 10.
Did they call a penalty on the?
On the bench? Yeah, hard to tell. He pointed back. At this point, it's hard to tell. Or they wanted to get the proper spotting of where the ball's at. But I thought the ball was, as the guy points back, I thought the ball was here. So, well, we do appreciate everybody tuning in with us. Thank you so much here at Score 58 Network. I'm Bo McMichael with Craig Chapman. Game 1 of Game 2. Occurring here, the first game with the Tigers and the Enforcers.
Inside,
nothing.
Yeah, the inside give, they don't have – that wasn't a give to their running back. They trying to run some clock here, obviously. So they're going they're going to lose 5 right there. Be back at the 41. So, I mean, it's this would be a good time to work on things that you're going to use when you get to this point in the game and you have to, realistically run the clock to salt out a win. Or you could just throw seam routes,
and they're open.
For 20 yards and a 1st down.
They're not going to run the ball, their coach.
They're not.
I mean, they predicate themselves on the pass. If you told me to, it just doesn't feel like it. It feels like they're a passing team.
And I can respect somebody that stays with what they plan on doing. Quick screen out to the left. Nice setup move inside. Going to pick up about 8 right there. Going to bring up 2nd down and 2.
I'll tell you one thing. He knocked him out. He went to the ground. Definitely hits. 2nd down and about 2. Ball on the 38. Glad to have everybody joining us here. Score 58 Network bringing you the Tigers versus the Enforcer. You can tune in with us around 6:15 for the Eagles versus the Horsemen.
Pressure. Morgan scrambles out to the right, tucks it under. Going to be tackled down at about the 24-yard line. It should be enough for a 1st down. And I said 34-yard line. I meant 24-yard line.
At least it wasn't the 30 and then the 50, like they erased the 40-yard line and it really messed you up there, man.
Yeah, man, that right there was messing with my mind, and I don't have a very good one anyway.
No, but you do okay on that part. That's awesome.
So here we go. We're got doubles. One back in the gun right here. Look for the inside kind of cutback zone play right here. There it is. Going to be tackled for a loss of 1.
Did Kenny Smith play for North Carolina?
He certainly did.
I feel so sorry for him that he's got to get sitting next to Chuck.
Oh, and he was trying to be so gracious last night, and then Chuck gave it to him after he was so nice to him.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was waiting for it.
It wasn't a game. It wasn't a close game the whole time. So, I mean, and I almost – sometimes I appreciate when I'm playing my friends, and the same thing, I'm glad it's not a close game, so I don't have to deal with that. So.
I didn't want it to end on a controversial call.
No.
Tigers back and empty. Look for the seam route. Timeout.
We're multitasking. We got a Braves game going. We got the March Madness recap going on here. So we're seeing some things on the corner of our eyes with our telescreens. So we're going to be a little less involved tomorrow with the Peach State.
Oh yeah, we'll be quarantined tomorrow.
Yeah, we won't have that many opportunities to throw that up. I'm still trying to work on a couple of examples of what I want to be able to bring to that game with the Carolina Cowboys and the Peach State. Both teams are 0-1, so it should be a very, hey, you got to do what you got to do to get that first victory in the AAL.
And you know the beautiful thing about it from calling a game perspective, you know, it's completely different than what we normally see.
Oh yeah, we can sit back and kind of catch up with the football here and go, hey, this is going here, based on from an Arena League perspective, it's going to blow our minds. I have a feeling.
All right, RPO going deep down the left sideline. And they could literally call pass interference on that, but I would bet they won't.
I'm appreciative that they did not.
And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 11. I like the fact that, you know, they gave him a chance to play out there. Our corner on the left-hand side for the lost my mind now for the Enforcers.
It's okay. Your mind's right there. You do what you can.
It's telling them to come on and bring it on. Throw it again. I mean, you know, we talked about it. Here we go. Here comes Jet. And we're going to get jet sweep right here.
You're going to call it. That's what you're saying.
I'm just.
Look at them.
Oh, look. They faked it. They're going to throw the out route. And got knocked down. Bring up 4th down. And I missed a down. Yeah, well. Dadgummit.
You know, you don't get paid the big bucks for no reason at all, man. You hang in there, buddy.
Dadgum. I swear that was 3rd down.
We just went live with the other game, so I'm trying to see how bad the
internet feed is.
Oh my goodness, that's all I'm trying. I was like, well, let's go see how bad it is. He said he went live, so we'll see how bad it is.
So we got 1st down and 10 right here for the Enforcers. Got to be late here in the 4th quarter.
20 minutes, give or take, before kickoff with the Eagles and the Horsemen. Stay with us. We'll bring that game to you live. We will take a break. Talking about make sure we get some beverages and some food.
Those are required?
They are. Beverages and food.
So you're late in the 4th quarter. If you're the Enforcers, what do you do right here, Coach? Do you try to look and see if you can find something that you can use in next week's game?
I want to score.
Okay.
I mean, so to me, as an offensive person, being an lineman, I want to score. I don't want to get a goose egg. I don't want to see somebody shut me out.
Yeah.
To me, that's where I'm at, and looks like the Enforcers are going to call a timeout.
They are.
Sorry once again for the technology. We've done a great job dealing with it all game. It's come and gone, so it's one of those. Hey, when it clears up, it's good.
So, I agree with the fact that what you say, you wanting to score. For me, that was, it goes without saying. If you're calling plays, if you're on the offensive line, I know those guys take a lot of pride in doing things the right way. I've been fortunate enough in my life to coach a lot of good running backs, quarterbacks, and receivers, and so getting shut out hasn't been a thing that has happened a whole lot. But the worst feeling in the world is when you're sitting there in the late 3rd quarter or starting the 4th quarter, and it's you know, you've got no points or 7 points, and you're thinking, you know, this is not us. And you know, at that time, I mean, I can remember we went through a whole year one year where we didn't score a whole lot of points.
Right. And you get that theory. And you just, you know, I can remember one time as a player, we scored with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. It was a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was the hardest thing just to get a touchdown.
Yep.
I mean, I can remember in the third quarter it was hard enough to get a first down. So here we go, 1st and 10, ball on the 25 for the Enforcers.
Little slip screen right here, throwing it out to the big fullback. And he's going to rumble for a couple right there and bring up 2nd down and 8, and then there's going to be a flag thrown on the play.
Well, the only thing I can think of is that the Tigers and Enforcers are going to sleep well tonight.
They are. They're tired.
Yeah, but the nice thing is everybody is in the area, so nobody's having to take that drive back from I-20.
I wouldn't even want to think about what it'd be like to be a Chattanooga team tonight if they're not staying.
No, they're driving back. I mean, it's just, you know, but, you know, it's one of those, I couldn't, being that much sweat, that much tired, you know, it's definitely one of those ones where you hope things work out in that manner. That would be a little rough, to say the least.
So they're going to get the penalty yardage right here. It's going to bring it up, make it 1st down and 10. Looks like we're going to be at the 44-yard line. So still trying to muster the first points of the game. The Enforcers, who have played 4 quarterbacks, looks like they have switched again, and now we have illegal motion.
No, it's definitely what we call a slowdown at this point.
Yes.
But good job overall for the Tigers tonight. You know, in the afternoon, dealing with the heat, dealing with the two teams, felt like it was a good matchup between the IAFL Atlanta Enforcers versus the Atlanta Tigers. Once again, this is Score 58 Network. I'm Bo McMichael with Craig Chapman. We're on the waning minutes of the fourth quarter here. Tigers up 24-0. We will depart and come back around 6:15 or so once this game concludes.
So we got 1st and 15 now at the 39. Snap and drop. Thrown over the middle. That pass is picked off. Looks like by number 31. No,
and you couldn't tell based on where everybody was running. It was a nice pickoff.
That would be number 5.
He grabbed that and took it the other way.
It's hard to tell right now. I'm getting a lot of hair.
Yes, you are.
Number 5.
You going to give him the props?
I am going to give him the props. Pass picked off by number 5. That would be Chris Couch.
What he squared up as, a linebacker?
He is actually listed here as a running back.
And that's it?
And he is listed as a running back. And with his other position, they gave you his, what do you call it, his nickname. And his nickname is Scooby.
Okay.
So,
because Scooby, him playing the deep thirds right there.
Yeah.
That was a little surprise.
Got him some Scooby snacks.
Yes, he did. Roll, Reggie. Roll, indeed.
So where are we going to spot this bad boy at? Is it going to be at the 50? The white hat just looked at that guy and said, "What?" Oh, now we're going back the other way. So nobody knows where the ball is at. And the Tigers are looking right here just to run this thing out, finish this thing up 24-0, and move on to next week undefeated in the IAFL.
Now, to let everybody know, if we don't show back up for the Eagles and the Horsemen, it means because the internet is that spotty in that particular area. So it just kind of hold still to what we have. We'll do our best with what we got in that situation.
So we got 1st down and 10 right here at the 50. 2 backs in the gun. Looks like we got a tight end pseudo wing to the right. And we got sweep to the right. And he's going to be tackled in the backfield. Right there, nice play by number 54 for the Enforcers. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 13 at the 47-yard line. That was just another different formation that we have seen. You know, we're going to probably get to see a little bit more of what they would do if they're going to try to run the clock out right here. That was a mix-up, and this has got disaster written all over it. And he's going to throw it out to no one. And that's a really wise move. As long as nobody's out, he's outside the tackle box, he can get rid of it and throw it away. I think the white hat is going to mark this thing. It's going to be 3rd down and 13 at the 47. Yeah, and he's put the ball over his head again, and I was sure he was fixing to say that was the end of the game, but he did not.
No, he did not.
So 3rd and 13 here for the Tigers. And they have not thrown the ball on this series except for, that play right there, which wasn't supposed to be a throw. It was just a make it up so we don't lose yardage. So we're back in the wing left look, tight end left, 2 backs deep in the backfield. Snap. Here's a pass. Going to throw it as far as he can throw it.
And he's going to have somebody get under it. Oh, he was almost underneath it right there.
Yes, he
Goodness
was.
Gracious.
So that should bring up 4th and 13 with the ball on the 47-yard line. Be interested to see if they punt right here.
Well, I do appreciate everybody joining in with us here tonight. Here at Lenore Park, Snellville, Georgia. I'm Bo McMichael with Craig Chapman bringing you Score 58 Network IAFL action. The Tigers versus the Enforcers coming to the end of the ball game. Kind of stay with us, see what we can do about the other game, meaning the Chattanooga Eagles versus the Metro Atlanta Horsemen. Internet's not looking pretty at this point, and we'll see what we can do. They play in the middle of nowhere at Wolverine Field. We've never had really good connections, so we're going to see how it goes, and we'll make a decision. If you don't see us pop back on, deeply apologize for not being able to bring the game to you. Hey, I spelled horseman wrong right there.
That's horsey men.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to finish that.
Don't do that.
I appreciate you saying that. I just noticed it.
A snap, a drop, going down the seam again.
And he caught it.
Looks like it. He
Yep,
did.
He did.
And it's going to bring 1st down.
We've done a good job handling the technology of it. It comes and goes.
Looks like he's going to be right about the right about the 29-yard line. Is that what that is?
Maybe the 30. Yeah, 29 based on the.
I was trying to read.
Maybe the 34. Nope, 31.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
It'll be the 31.
So that must be the 2-minute warning right there.
I would think so. We're definitely coming close to the end on that part. But y'all have done a great job staying with us. We appreciate everybody tuning in with us. Next week, no telling what games we got going with us. So sit back and enjoy. And like I said, if we get the Eagles and the Horsemen, we'll come live around 6:15, 6:20, bringing that game to you. If not, that just means technology was not working to our benefit tonight. So thanks again. 2 minutes left to go in this Tigers Enforcer matchup.
Looks like they're going to have the obligatory coaches conference with the officials. We haven't had a whole lot of those today.
No, we really haven't yet. I mean, it was probably one of the first clean games that we've seen across the board.
And it goes a lot to what you were saying about
it's organization.
Organization, yeah.
Yeah, hands down. I'm definitely appreciative of both how both coaches run run their organization and what they're hoping to achieve.
So we're back in empty. All right, so must have had a penalty after the catch right there because it looks to be 1st and 25. At the 45-yard line.
And the end of this game is one of those, hey, I wonder if it's going to happen.
It's never ending.
I'm glad we tied it up here. I looked over at you when they went ahead 4-3, and you just kind of went, okay, you're doing a good job staying as much as you can. We're talking about the Braves.
Freddie Freeman he chalked up and cued one through the left side to score Inciarte. He's had a good day today.
Well, I do enjoy baseball season. It gives me always an opportunity to have something else on in the background. So I'm appreciative of that,
So it appears to be 1st and 25 right here. My favorite down. gives me 3 downs to get 25 yards. And see if they hand it off right here. They do.
And another flag on the play.
Yes, it is.
It's the game that will not end.
Somebody on the officiating crew has a dinner appointment, and if they leave too early, they will be too early.
Goes on and on, my
Wow.
friends. Here we go.
We are at 1st and 30. Or somewhere in that reasonable facsimile. Always wanted to use that.
That's a good word, facsimile.
So we're going to get another zone handoff right here. And they are handing it to a large human. And he is going to gain 3. And it's going to be 2nd down and 27 at the 47-yard line.
We're definitely coming to the end of the game. We appreciate everybody tuning in with us. Thanks again for being a part of the telecast today. Can't necessarily do a lot of this stuff without y'all tuning in. It does give us certain particular energy, so it's always nice. A wonderful Saturday afternoon here at Snellville, Georgia, Lenore Church Park, home of the 5th down.
Yes. Dropping back to pass again.
Go deep.
He's going to throw a pick.
Oh,
He dropped it.
I don't understand why you drop it. He's going to ask why. He put it on the ground, number 5. I can't go with you on that one, buddy. You did a flip, and then you put the ball on the ground.
Yep.
That's about all I can say in that situation.
Got to come up with that thing. So it looks like it's going to be 3rd down.
And 27.
In the next county.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be, in empty right here. But, we talked about it. They're going to throw the football. That's illegal motion again. There's a seam route. Oh, wow. That was a beautiful throw, a beautiful catch.
And a beautiful tackle.
And then number 5 for the enforcers.
He was a little upset that he can get that interception.
Yes, and he just enforced the middle of the field right there.
Yeah, you played on words right there with their names. That was a good job.
I like that.
Yes.
That was a Donald McDonald alliteration thing. So it's going to bring up 1st down and 10. Appears to be at 20-yard line. I will tell you this much. When you keep the scoreboard and watch the game, it keeps you in the game.
Oh, you have to. You're definitely aware of it. You're not getting zoned out in that situation by no means. So I agree with you on that.
Still an empty. Quick screen out. Dropped. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Oh, excuse me. Not 2nd down and 10. That was 4th down. Obviously, the spot of the ball was, my eyesight is not great.
No, it's not.
But I obviously am way wrong again. So, hey, that will be 1st and 10 for the enforcers now. I apologize. That had nothing to do with terrible math skills. That was just not being able to see.
Right.
So it looks like the ball's at the 25. That was what I couldn't see either. I'm sunblind today.
Well, you were cutting grass before you joined us.
Oh yeah, that was an event in itself. I found numerous ways to sneeze after cutting the grass today.
I watched a helicopter go over with all the pollen, and they were showing that on Channel 2, and I was just simply amazed with how much, when they go past and do that, I was like, wow, that's a lot. That is a lot of pollen.
And we have reached the 5th quarterback of the day.
Might as well give everybody an opportunity at this point. You got to run 12. You better run.
I think 12 can run. Goodness Lord, 12 can run.
Switch hands. Oh, that grass got him.
1st down and 10 at the 41-yard line.
There's not much time remaining either. So if they want to get some points, this is it.
Wow. That was an impressive play right there.
It was. He took to the outside and went.
When he turned the corner right there, he had an intention of running to the end zone. He didn't have an intention of going down. That was.
He was trying to hit that corner, and that was a little bit more exhausting than normal.
He was like, you know what?
If you're at Lenore Park, you're hanging tough. The NDFL will be kicking off around 6:30. And that looks like that might be the ball game. Either that or they're going to call a timeout.
I think they called timeout.
I would agree with you on that. Trying to get some final points. Like I said, it's important to look at the wind out there.
Yeah, I noticed the wind, one of those things is you kick that ball. And
so you think that maybe that helped out with that bad kick?
I think when they, I was wondering about it when they started kicking the ball into the end zone, for the Tigers on the kickoff, and then the punt went straight up and then went in reverse. So yeah, the wind right there, if it's blowing as hard as it looked like based on that play sheet,
right?
Trying to blow that poor guy into the end zone down there. So,
understood.
But always wanted one of those visors that was mirrored like that guy. That was cool stuff. Empty right here.
Very hot underneath there.
Oh,
man.
yeah. There's not even any way to describe how that feels.
No.
Snap, drop, shuffles in the pocket. Going to let it fly.
He's got an arm.
And it's going to be picked again.
But he did what he could, get it to the end zone.
Yeah,
he did.
That's probably the last play of the game. So, and then number 41 for the Tigers gets dropped off out of bounds over there.
By number 10.
That number 41, that would be, and I love the Tigers roster. It started off, and then it got to number 7, and it went to 52.
Everybody's getting themselves back to the sideline, which is always appreciative.
Yes. And I don't see a 41 on it here, so the invisible man made the interception.
Well, we haven't had an updated roster for a while, so this is the first game with the Enforcers. This looks like it is ball game.
I think so, Coach. I think that's going to signal the end
and go from there.
So we got to the end of the game, and we didn't have anybody fight.
No. 6 o'clock Eastern time. Glad to have everybody with us. Once again, I'm Bo McMichael with Craig Chapman, this Score 58 Network. Coming to the end of this particular game. Hang with us. We'll come back right around 6:15, 6:20. Give you a nice little coin toss and get this game started with the Chattanooga Eagles versus the Metro Atlanta Horsemen. Good game today. Didn't like the outcome. Would have liked to have been a little bit closer.
It deserved to be closer.
It did, but the Tigers did what they – I can go back, and the Tigers still stopped them and did what they needed to do. So great job on the Atlanta Tigers improving to 5-0. Enforcers have to rebound, have to make something from this season. Y'all take care of yourselves. Be safe. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy your spring breaks if you got them. If not, hey, see you at work on Monday.